Hey guys, it's Sunday night, it's 6 o'clock, and we are live with another Sunday night live stream with me, Skystorm, and my ever faithful, but slightly annoying assistant, Picture Perfect.
Oh my god. Hey guys, I hope you're all having a lovely weekend.
And I've got a big surprise for Picture Perfect on this stream.
Dear.
Oh yeah, and she is currently terrified of what on earth I am going to say, but all will be revealed. All will be revealed, trust me. So I'm going to give I'm going to leave it like a minute or two, just so that some people can get tuned in. I can see people tuning in. As I'm watching the counter, it's ticking up. So we'll let people get here. How you doing, Picture?
I'm doing pretty good actually. I'm having a good weekend. How are you doing?
I'm doing kind of sort of okay. I've been I don't know. The last 2 days I've been like super tired, like crazy tired. Don't know why. I think my batteries are like replacing or something. Seriously, I've been like there. Anyway, enough about me. This stream's all about Picture Perfect. Oh yeah.
Oh dear.
Are you scared now? Are you terrified?
Yeah.
You will be even more terrified, trust me.
Oh goodness.
Okay, so here's the deal, guys. This stream, all donations on this stream will go directly to Picture Perfect. Like every penny donated today will go to Picture Perfect, and I'm going to explain why. And I've also set up some special arrangements for donations. So hang on a second. You can read out Captain Reaper if you want.
Captain Reaper, our first super chat of the evening with £20 says, finally managed to catch a live stream. Well, thank you for being here, Captain Reaper.
Indeed. Now, Picture Perfect doesn't know anything about this, do you, Picture?
No, literally nothing.
I am going to be in so much trouble after this stream. It's going to be untrue because I have sprung this on her completely. Okay, today, donations. You will see, if you look at the video description, immediately below the video, that there is a special donation link, which is the special Picture Perfect donation link, right? And that particular link, 100% of that money will go direct to Picture Perfect, okay? Because that's straight into a PayPal account. I've set up a special PayPal account. Money goes into there. There's no withholding of any description. Okay. If you donate through Super Chat, you can still donate through Super Chat. That's fine. Obviously, YouTube takes their cut, but everything that's left over after YouTube, if I've got their greedy hands on it, will go straight to Picture Perfect. If you want to, you can also donate through Patreon. Any Patreon donations that are put in today will go to Picture Perfect, and the same goes for any channel members who sign up today. Your first month donation will go to Picture Perfect. Okay, so the best way to donate today. Oh, and look, there you go. Look at that.
Yes,
there's one right now from Carl Smith. Now, if you're thinking, well, I kind of want to use Super Chat because then I can leave a message. Well, haha, I have set up the donations so that if you follow that special donation link that's in the video description, and by the way, I'm going to leave that up for at least the next week. So if you're watching this live stream kind of on demand afterwards, and you feel like you'd like to make a donation, I'll explain why you might want to in a second, then you'll still be able to use that link. Okay, so yeah, I was saying you might think, I'm going to use Super Chat because I can leave a message. If you go and look at that donation link, right, you can leave a message, right, and that message will come up on screen. like center screen, and we'll and picture. You're going to have to be on the ball to read those messages out, because they're going to pop up. You're just going to have to interrupt me, read the message out, and that's it, right? Okay. And I'll just have to shut up, talk over me. We want to get those messages read out. Okay, so why are we doing this? Well, see, this is why Picture's going to kill me now, right? Well, after this stream, because Picture is about to curl up in a ball and die of embarrassment, right? But frankly, we don't care, because we love you and we want to help you out. I found out yesterday, after a few shenanigans, I found out yesterday that Picture Perfect is having a little bit of a financial crunch, which is for anybody that doesn't know, Picture is a student, and she's stopped running the time. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter running the date on at this point. I think we've got all the new vehicles, and if we do get any new vehicles, it's a good thing. So it's kind of irrelevant now. What was I saying? Oh yeah. Picture's a student, and she's studying neuroscience at a London university. You don't want to name your university, do you?
No, that's fine.
Yeah, okay. She's studying neuroscience. She's actually doing her master's degree in neuroscience. And I won't go into all the ins and outs of it, but basically, she's being messed around by the English Student Loans Organisation. And it is creating some fairly severe pressure for our poor old Picture Perfect. And so I decided that today we will help her out, and all donations are going to go to Picture Perfect. Now, normally, like when I get donations, the UK taxman always takes his little piece out of that. Right, so what I am going to do this week is whatever you guys donate on the stream, I personally will pay the tax on, so that Picture Perfect gets every single penny. Okay? So that's the deal. That's the objective. We're trying to help Picture out. Picture, like, I know I've kind of really dropped you in it here, and you're probably curled up in a ball, wanting to wish like the whole earth would just swallow you up at this moment. But we love you and we want to help you out, right? So I hope you don't mind too much.
No, I think it's lovely, but I'm actually going to cry.
Aww, you poor thing. Isn't she sweet?
It's very, very sweet of you.
Right, well, I don't know how much you want to tell the guys about like the situation or whatever. I would imagine you don't want to share like too much, and I hope I haven't shared too much.
No, that's perfectly fine. I'm okay with that.
Okay, cool. So we'll leave it at that. So there you go. Picture, like, I mean, hopefully it is a temporary situation, but I know that she is in a real squeeze right now. So if you have $1 to spare, or a pound, or a shekel, or a I don't know, a brass nickel, like whatever, and you feel like throwing it Picture's way, then like I said, there's a special donation link in the video description. She gets absolutely every single dime penny that is put in there goes direct to Picture Perfect, and all the other methods, yeah, as well. So yeah, that's all of that. Whew, man, I believe you've got some work to do, haven't you?
I do, yes. Sorry.
Ironic Medic has just quoted one of my favourite movies, which is A League of Their Own, starring Tom Hanks. And there's one bit where which is ostensibly a baseball movie, and he tells off one of the players, and the players are all women, and he tells off one of the players, and she starts crying, and he comes out with the fantastic, "There's no crying in baseball." And Ironic Medic has said that there's no crying in transport fever. Actually, there was quite a lot of crying in Transport Fever. There's no crying in Transport Fever 2. Oh no, not after the latest update. No crying at all. Right, Picture, are you back? No. Picture has been having internet problems. Oh, are you back now?
Yes, hopefully.
Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. So, go on. Do your work. We're going to watch the airport while you read out some super chats.
Okay, so Blue Rose Gaming with 50 runs says, "Hey Picture, hey Sky, finally I can catch a live stream. It's good to see you, Blue." And Carl Smith with 10 New Zealand dollars says, "Good morning from," I'm going to say this wrong, Auckland?
You've never heard of Auckland? For heaven's sake. She does live in a sealed box. I should point this out to people. Auckland in New Zealand. Auckland in New Zealand, for heaven's sake. Good lord.
Good morning from Auckland. Picture, what does a peacock sound like? I put some peacocks in my Planet Zoo series, and they sound like cats screaming at each other. Sky, can I please have a Shinkansen coloured purple called the Flying Purple People Water? And I'm off to work in 20 minutes.
Who was that from?
Carl Smith.
Oh, from Carl. Well, Carl, you can definitely have that. Let's find it. Let's find it for you. And I want to thank everybody that's donated so far, and everybody that's intending to donate. Like me, from me personally, a massive thank you for helping Picture out, because I seriously, I don't want to say too much, but she really is in a squeeze right now, and it is a bit of a rough patch. It's like, I don't want to embarrass her, but I kind of want you guys to let me say, she has, like, over the last couple of weeks, she has actually had sleepless nights, and having gone through financial pressure myself, I know how just horrendous it is, like absolutely horrendous. So we're going to try and do something about it. Where's the bloomin' Shinkansen? Shinkansen. I know it's Shinkansen. I say Shinkansen because it's bloomin' easier. I'm a very simple man. I can't deal with too much. Here now, have you got a name already? Oh, that's the SAG. You can't have the SAG. We've got the Amelia Marie running around here, haven't we? We've got Thomas here. This one's Thomas, and the one coming from Kirkpatrick is what was it? Wasn't James? Wasn't Henry? Which one was it? Gordon. It was Gordon, wasn't it? Where's Gordon? Oi, Gordon, where are you? Is this Thomas? No, there's Gordon. There's Gordon. So we've got Gordon and Thomas. We've got the Amelia Marie over here. Here's the Amelia Marie. It's hard to find. It's hard to find a Shinkansen that hasn't already been named. In fact, I think they've all been named. Hang on a sec. If I go to the vehicle statistics, I can sort it by vehicle, can't I? Can I? Can you sort it by vehicle? Yes, you can. Okay, so if I go down to find... Nah, apparently it doesn't sort the bloomin' locomotives and stuff. That sucks. Let's say... Ah! No! That'll do. Corpse Hatch to Kirkpatrick. That's not a... Nah, that's not a Shinkansen, though. That's not a Shinkansen. It's one of those art... yeah, I don't know what the name of that train is. I don't even know.
I have some messages to read out, mister.
Oh, do you? Well, read them out then. I tell you what, guys. Make the messages all really saccharine so she cries loads of times during the stream. I mean, we're helping her out. We might as well get some fun out of it as well.
Oh my God. So these were a couple of donations that came up on the screen, and I just want to say, like, before I get too teary, and this isn't hard for me to say, thank you, because it does genuinely mean a lot to me, and I'm very moved. It's very thoughtful, and I'm very grateful. Right.
You only just made it through that, didn't you?
Yes. No shush.
You poor thing.
So the first, and if I miss it, by the way, notify me in chat, because I'm trying to keep up. But let me know if I miss you. So the first one was Alex Barton, and he said, "Happy studies. Hopefully you can fix me in the future."
I don't think there's anybody in the world could fix you.
Thank you, Alex. Bob the Bomb donated and said, "Good luck, picture." Thank you. There was a there's a copper. There was a super chat from Quartzhat, $5 and 79 cents. Says, "Hugs for Picture Perfect getting through this rough patch." Thank you, Quartz. And then there was a donation from Night Stalker for $20, and he says, "I will gladly donate this week's pizza funds, as I don't need those lousy carbs anyway."
Aww.
Thank you. Now I feel bad. What pizza? Not your pizza funds.
Don't. You're saving him from like heart disease and stuff. Doing him a favour.
And Carl Smith said he wanted it called Purple People Eater.
The Purple People Eater. You know what? All of the Shinkansens are named. So how about one of these little babies? This is another multiple unit. I could try and find you a good route. And these things are called, what are they called? These are the ones with the strange. Now, tell me what you are. Stupid thing. If I mouse over it, it should tell me what it is. But it's not. Why aren't you telling me what you are? Like, hang on, if I go to here and mouse over that, see, that tells me what it is. But for some reason, this isn't telling me what it is, and I can't remember. It's it's last something. It's not last iguanas. It's last something though. Where's a depot? I know there's a depot over here.
There is another donation from Bulldog UK. It says, "Happy to help out someone doing a proper degree." Thank you.
Aww.
Oh, and it's the super chat from Blue Rose Gaming for 250 runs. "I don't have a PayPal, so doing it via super chat. Good luck, picture with the studies." Thank you, Blue.
Oh, thank you, Blue Rose.
I'm gonna cry so much tonight.
I know you are. She's emotional on a good day. You can imagine what she's going to be like. You need to read out Alex Barton's comment, by the way.
Picture, I donated via the link just saying good luck, and hopefully you can fix me when you're done studying, but I think you lost internet when it came through. I said it, didn't I? I said Alex's.
Yes, you did.
Yes, okay. Was that the comment you meant?
I don't know. Now, by the way, if you look at the top of the screen, I have actually changed. Oh, read that one out quick. Oh, you can't see it. You won't see it for like 30 seconds.
I'm behind.
When it comes up, read them out.
Okay.
Just like if I'm talking, just say shut up while you. Oh my God, the donations are rolling. If you look at the top of the screen, there is where it used to be the most recent channel member. I've changed it to the donations total, so you can actually see how much has been donated via that special link. And for anybody who's just tuned in and is going, what the hell are they on about with these donations and stuff? All donations on this stream are going direct to Picture Perfect, because due to the, to be honest, bureaucratic stupidity of the English Student Loans Company, she has been left in a real tight financial situation. I think it's fair to say, Picture, right?
Yeah.
Not to embarrass you too much, but it's, yeah, she's been left in a very difficult situation. So all proceeds of all donations from this stream are going to Picture Perfect. And if you're thinking, oh well, you know, the taxman's going to take some and all that, no. I am of my own pocket, every penny, right, I will pay the tax on, right? So whatever you guys donate will go, every single penny will go to Picture Perfect. So, other than what like YouTube takes, which I can't do anything about, unfortunately. So, but every other penny will go straight to Picture. And the best way to get every penny to Picture, use the special donations link in the video description. Okay.
I got the first one through. So it was Twins1215 who donated $10 and said, "Keep changing the world. Hopefully this helps you get there."
Oh. Yeah, see, this is the thing. It's like, I mean, there are all kinds of reasons why people need to be helped out, and like, I mean, it's not like she's, you know, got massive like cancer medical bills or anything like that. It's not the like total end of the universe, although I'm sure it does feel like it for Picture at the moment, because I do know what she's going through. But at the end of the day, she is trying to do something like constructive to become a useful member of society. You know what? Would you guys mind if we took just a couple of minutes and just told you about what Picture's doing and what she wants to do in the future and stuff? Like why she's doing a neuroscience degree. It's not for no reason. And she did have special interest, which, I mean, personally, I find fascinating, and I think a lot of you might find fascinating. Oh, Blue Rose has got to go.
Oh, Blue.
Oh, Blue Rose.
Thank you for being here and for your lovely donation.
Yeah, thank you, Blue Rose. That was very generous of you. Thank you very much. So, like, guys, would you mind if we just, like, told you a bit of stuff about what Picture's doing and why she's doing it and stuff? Because I think you might find it a little bit interesting. I tell you what.
Go on.
Jeanette McGlamory says, we mind. Aggro Gaming Channel says, are you both in the UK? Yes, we are both in the UK. We're both in the Kingston upon Thames area.
We are.
In the southwest of London.
Night Stalker donated $1 and says, let's see if we can send Sky directly to British tax court.
Yeah, let's not get out of hand here.
There was a £1 super chat from Danger Mark.
Oh, God. Thank you, Nerd Source. She'll be reading your comment out in a second when she sees it.
Yeah, sorry. I'm a little bit behind, and then I'm pausing to make sure I read them, and then, so I'll get there.
And thank you, Christoph Kellens. Your comment will be read out by Picture in a few seconds as well. You might have to start taking screenshots of the comments.
Yeah, it's a shame I can't copy them. Nerd Source for 10. See, if I don't pause it will disappear. So $10. Doing my part to help you get the education. Boo to bureaucrats. Thank you. Oh, this is so heartwarming. I am actually speechless.
People love you. There's, you know, the generosity of people, like, never ceases to amaze me. And now you're going to see it for yourself, because it is freaking staggering. I mean, it staggers me. It's a very, very humbling experience. Trust me. So there'll be loads of tears, and you'll rip my head off later as soon as you get off the. She drops the nice girl act as soon as we get off the channel, and then I'll really catch it for this.
Christoph donated $11.29. I know how difficult financial issues are, so here's a little something to help you out. Thank you.
Thank you, Christoph. And yeah, I echo that. It's for anybody who's been through it, for anybody who's been in that situation where you literally don't have enough money to pay the next bill that comes in, that feeling is nothing short of terrifying. And my heart goes out to anyone who ever has been or like is in that situation. And the advice that I would give them is reach out to people. It's the hardest thing in the world to do. I had to drag this out of Picture Perfect.
Yeah, it wasn't an easy conversation for me.
Yes. It wasn't something that she volunteered. I noticed that she has been not herself for the last couple of weeks. Yeah, and eventually she told me about this. Seriously, if you ever have financial problems, I don't care how embarrassing it feels, and it does, it's like the end of the freaking world. You don't want to talk to anybody, you don't want to tell anybody about it, right? Talk to people about it. Seriously. There will always be an answer, there will always be a solution, there will always be people who will help you out. Even when you think there is no way out of a situation, there is always a way out, right? So talk to people. Seriously, I can't stress that enough. Really can't stress that enough. I know this is all going to be a little bit heavy. I'll try and lighten things up later. So, I'll tell you what. You know what? Let's find a nice train to ride on, and we'll talk about what pictures like doing and stuff. Let's try and ride on one of the Shinkansens. So I'm going to name one. I was coming over here to find this so I could say what the name of that train was. It's the, where are you? Electrical auxiliary units. Yeah. Now this is a Russian train, which is actually called the Listochka, right? But that's nowhere near as funny. And I had one Russian guy in the comments on the last video, like ripping my head off, saying it's not Spanish, it's a Russian train. It's called a Listochka, for heaven's sake. He wasn't saying it like he was saying it with a Russian accent, but I can't do that at the moment. So I forgot what a Russian. It's called. I'm not even. I can't even. It's gonna come out Indian. I know it is. It's probably come out Welsh. It's called a bloody Listochka, for goodness sake. Anyway, yeah. So I'm gonna name a Listochka for Carl because I haven't got any Shinkansens left. So let me give you a good one. Where can I find a good one? You know what? Like the Kretchy. Have we got we've got Listochka. Listochkas. Like Las Iguanas, but with stochkas. What is a stochka? What's stochka? What's the stochka in Spanish?
I don't know.
I'm gonna give Carl 2 because Carl's like a regular donor and stuff. And he was one of the first people to chip in for picture, so he's getting 2 trains. Ooh. This is the Purple People Eater 1. Oh, and the 1 didn't go in for some reason. There we go. And there's going to be a Purple People Eater 2. Oh yes, there is. Because I say so, and that's all there is to it. Right, and it needs to be purple, doesn't it? Yes, it does.
Yeah.
Purple. This is going to be a horrible colour. Oh, actually, no, it might be all right. There we go. Let's see what it looks like. Oh, you know what? It doesn't look too bad. That actually looks all right. Go on then. Right, so we'll have that, and let's go back to the overview. Go to that line. Go to the other train, train 8. This is going to be the Purple PC 2. Just checking I've spelt it right. Yeah, apparently I have. And this one, this puppy's going to be purple as well. Now, I am going to try and do some stuff in this stream, by the way. It's not going to be just endless me going on about picture. Although, you know, no. See, this is the thing. I can't be really nice to her and then be horrible to her in the same time. So I've got to be nice to you now. I wish I'd never started this, for heaven's sake. I've got to be nice to you. What the hell's going on? The world's all going to it. I don't like. You love it when I do Michael Caine, don't you?
I do. It's like my new favourite thing.
It really is. Right. So we're gonna. You know what? Let's have a. It makes me giggle every time I say this. Let's have a ride on Amelia Marie. I mean that in the nicest possible way. Oh, the Amelia Marie just about to pull out of the station as well. Let's jump on Amelia Marie. Oh dear, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. Yeah, we're going to jump on Amelia Marie and we're going to ride on. It just gets worse the more I say it. We're going to ride on Amelia Marie for a while because This has got some of the nicest views on the entire map. It's why I put Amelia Marie on this line. Because I'm sure she's a staggeringly beautiful girl, so she deserves to be on a staggeringly beautiful line. You know what? Let's jump in first person, because we're going to be on here for a while, I think. And then I'm gonna go up a little bit, and go to the side a little bit, and then I'm gonna go back a little bit, so that we can actually see the train. There we go. Oh, it's going to ride around here for a while, I think. Because it's kind of awesome. So, picture.
Yes.
Do you want to tell them about, like, why you decided to study neuroscience and like, what got you interested and why you wanted to do it and stuff? Well, let's get inside the tunnel.
I'm sure I'm gonna mess this up.
Oh, you totally will mess it up, and that's why I'm here. Because like you'll tell them your completely messed up version, and then I'll remind you why you're really doing it and stuff. That's what I'm here for. I'll tell them the real story. Guys, trust me, I don't call a goldfish woman for nothing.
I know why I want to study it. I'm not good at telling stories the way that you were good at telling stories.
I am aware. Very, very aware.
So my main interest is in memory and learning, and one of the reasons that I'm interested in that particular area of neuroscience is that, as I've told you guys before, I'm dyslexic, so learning is something that I have generally struggled with. So it's something I want to try and understand from a neuroscience perspective. So what's actually going on in the brain when we're trying to learn and study information, and what can we do to make that process easier and more efficient. So I'm trying to learn as much about that as I can, so that I can actually put this information together and actually put the information out there, possibly on YouTube, and help people with studying, give people advice on the best ways to learn information, to study.
So, what got you? Was there anything that kind of particularly set you off in this direction? Because this wasn't what you wanted to do originally, was it?
No, it wasn't. It came about from my dissertation from my undergraduate degree, which it just kind of turned into a completely different direction from what I thought I was going to be doing. And I basically ended up for my dissertation coming up with, doing some research into learning and memory, and coming up with I can't do this.
You totally can. Come on. Feel the love. Feel the love.
I know, but I don't know like how much detail to go into, or whether I'm boring people senseless.
Well, you're not boring me, right? And trust me, I would like if anyone was going to tell you if they were being bored by this, and I've heard it all before, so, and I'm still not bored, so it must be relatively interesting.
So what I ended up doing for my dissertation is I designed an application for studying, so a way of presenting flashcards to help people study and prepare for exams using the information I could find on ways to improve memory, which was a very interesting process that I had a little bit of help with, didn't I?
Did you? Did you get some help? Is your internet gone again? Somebody's been the flat where the picture lives in. They've been doing some work in the flat, and they've messed around with the router, and I think they've messed up the wiring or whatever, because her internet keeps dropping. So she'll be back in a few seconds, hopefully. It's been a bit of a nightmare this week, because because we talk regularly on Hangouts, Skype equivalent, and yeah, it's been dropping out every now and then. She has to go and play around with the wires to get it working again. So, yeah. So you know, while she's gone, for the new people who've turned up, I will point out that on today's stream, all donations are going to Picture Perfect because of the bureaucratic stupidity of the English student loans company. She has been left in financial dire straits, at least on a temporary basis. I mean, hopefully they will sort this out, but they're being complete arses at the moment, and this has gone on for several months, and it's left her in a bit of a tough spot. So basically, any donations today go direct to Picture Perfect. I am going to help out as well, because any tax or whatever that needs to be paid on those donations, I will cover that myself out of my pocket. There is a special link in the video description, which 100% of any donations into that particular link go to Picture Perfect. If you donate via Super Chat, then obviously YouTube withhold a little. Like Patreon, there's a tiny bit withheld by Patreon. But if you use that link in the video description, every penny goes to Picture. So there you go. And hopefully she'll be back soon.
I'm here.
Oh, you are back now.
My internet just completely cut out.
I explained what's been going on. Oh, I tell you what, you should tell everybody your story about your flatmate at some point. Well, one of your flatmates. And then I can tease you about it, which would be enormous fun. Oh, you haven't got again, have you? She's got again. Oh, it's going to be a nightmare. We would pick this stream, the stream where I wanted to talk a lot, would be the week that she's having internet problems. Blooming nightmare. Right, so we are, like I said, we are going to do some stuff in this stream. Do you want to know what we're actually going to do? I'm going to do a fuel line, and you know what? Let's jump off Amelia Marie for a bit. Picture, if you get back, please say something. Don't wait for me to stop talking. We are going to put in a fuel line over here. If I turn on where are you? If I turn on industries, that's what I want. Down here we have got a couple of oil wells, and we've got an oil refinery, and we've got a fuel refinery, right? And I haven't placed any of these. These were all from the original map, and they're exactly where they were. So yeah, we're going to hook all of this up, and then we're going to ship the fuel over to. Now, I mean, I could send some to Crytown, but I think I want to send it across here over to Barton and Alextown on the Thomas. I think that may be a couple of good places to send it to. So I think I'm going to have to end up quad tracking this line over here in between Alextown and Barton. And we'll have the passenger trains running on one set of tracks, and we'll have the cargo trains on another set of tracks. Although that is going to present me with problems at this station, but I don't know. We'll work it out somehow. I'll probably end up knocking down half of Barton so that I can extend this station out. It's probably going to happen at some point, but we'll see.
I'm here.
You're back again. Hooray! And there was much rejoicing.
I did see on my screen.
And she's gone again. Yeah. No. This is what she and I have been suffering. We thought it had gone away, but apparently it's back. Go on, you're here.
I'm sorry, this is such a mess. There's a donation from Chris for $50, and it said you will get through this, which was very sweet. So thank you.
Which Chris was that?
Chris, I don't want to say this wrong. Fu, F-U, Fu.
Oh, Chris Fu.
Yeah, am I saying that right?
Thank you very much, Chris. Yeah, and we'll get back to picture was in the middle of telling us about why she's doing neuroscience and a particular interest in a particular area of specialisation that she's going into. Hokey Redneck says, can you explain how the English student loan system works? Yeah, basically they set up a society which targets young people very heavily towards going into higher education, and then they screw them over. That seems to be basically how the English student loan system works. Is that kind of fair?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's kind of very fair. I was just explaining to people that we're going to put a fuel line in,
Okay.
but I still want to hear what you were saying about.
I don't know where I got cut off because I just carried on. I had no idea my internet cut out.
We're going to ride one of the purple people eaters for a bit, I think. We'll go like back and forth on a purple people eater. Here's a purple people eater coming in right now. Let's jump on board.
There's a really lovely comment from Fastlane Knight that says Picture Perfect is amazing, and I'm sorry the UK is doing their students the same way the US does. Thank you.
Yeah, it really, I gotta say personally, it really, really annoys me that in the UK, students having to pay tuitions is a relatively recent thing, and I just think it's got to be the most stupid idea ever that students have to pay bloomin' tuition fees. I mean, it is insane. I mean, we want kids to go into higher education and become skilled, because the amount that we get back in like tax revenues from people who go into these, well-educated, higher-paying jobs, like more than mitigates what they have to pay in tuition fees. Now, okay, I could understand it if they turned around and limited it to maybe STEM subjects, science, technology, engineering, and mathematics. So, if you want to go and do an art degree, well, that's kind of more on you, and maybe stuff like that should be more funded by, I don't know, arts foundations or private foundations or whatever to help students. But certainly in the STEM subjects, I'm sorry, but it's economic insanity to charge your students tuition fees. You want as many people going into those fields as humanly possible, and to saddle them with, potentially hundreds of thousands of dollars of debt is just crazy. I mean, this is a particular bugbear of mine. It drives me insane. I do not know why any country would want to saddle young people with ridiculous loans. They should be encouraging them every way they can to go into these higher education, especially in the STEM subjects. It's crazy. Ruud van Zanten says every student loan system in any way or form in every country that is totally stupid. Those institutes are hindering the people to study and make a better world. Quite damn right, Ruud. I mean, seriously, it actually, that is one subject that actually makes me angry, because it is sheer stupidity.
I'm going to interrupt you with a couple of donation messages.
Oh, please read them out.
Alex Barton, again, thank you, says, Sky, can you run me a secret road to a hidden part for my completely legal and legitimate export business?
You want a secret road?
Yes, to a hidden part of it.
This is Alex, right?
Yeah, this is Alex.
To a hidden part of what?
To his base, his operations.
What? He's already got the
secret airport.
He's got the secret huge airport, and I've given him the secret tunnel. Right? He's got the secret tunnel which leads to the back entrance. The back entrance to his construction materials plant. Wink, wink. Yes, we all know what kind of bricks they're making there. So I'm not sure. And he's also got the hidden jungle, like, airstrip over here. So.
Oh, port. Sorry. To a hidden.
A hidden
Alex
port.
says, yes, to a hidden port. He wants a hidden port. Sorry, Alex. I read that badly.
Okay.
There was a message from Galsnet that says, a long time since we heard Picture Perfect say $33.33.
And it's still funny every single time. All right, you want a port? All right, I'll give you a blooming port.
And there was a super chat from Bulldog UK for £10. If you're studying a proper degree like Picture, you should be paid to study it by the government, not forced to pay for it yourself.
I couldn't agree with you more. I really couldn't agree with you more. I mean, seriously, guys, we should start a freaking movement about this because I just think it's the most stupid thing I've ever heard of.
Hokey says Sky for PM. Do you want to run the
like,
country?
Seriously, like, if there are any young people out there, like, doesn't it get on your frickin' nerves that you get all these adults badgering you for frickin' all the young years of your life when you're supposed to be enjoying yourself, but no, you have to go to school, and they badger you about how important it is to get, you know, your exam results and all the rest of it, so you can go on to higher education, to university or whatever. And then when you do, they say, oh yeah, but we're going to saddle you with, like, you know, like at least like £50,000 worth of debt, you know. I mean, people get saddled with, literally, in the US, people get saddled with hundreds of thousands. You know, if they end up going to somewhere like MIT or Harvard or, you know, one of the Ivy League colleges or whatever, you're talking hundreds of thousands. It's insanity. Why do we do this? God, we hate kids, don't we? I mean, I thought I hated kids, but no, the governments hate kids a lot more than I do, apparently. I mean, I don't like them, but I don't make their lives a blooming miserable. Well, I kind of do actually sometimes. But anyway, that's a different story. But no, it's just insane. It's just insane. But then so much of what we do these days is blooming insane. What we're doing to the planet's insane. You've never heard me go on about climate change, have you, Picture? You thought I didn't care about climate change.
I think that's one of the, like, I was going to say, I mean, it technically is a rant, but no, it's one of the conversations we haven't really had, isn't it? Climate change.
Well, I kind of figure there's enough people ranting about climate change that I don't need to join in. So I'm gonna save my rants for student goddamn tuition. Oh, serious tuition fees. This is the stupidest idea. All right then. So if it's such a good idea to charge university students, right? Why aren't we charging like ordinary kids? Oh, you want to go to school? All right. Well, we're going to charge you tuition fees now. Hang on a second. Like, haven't our parents paid you like freaking thousands and like tens of thousands of pounds, right, in taxes so that we can have a free frickin' education? Why doesn't that extend to higher education? Oh God, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Do you want me to stop? Should I shut up? We're supposed to be having a nice, fun day out in Transport Fever, looking at saucy little airplanes flying around and things, and I'm moaning about blooming student loans.
Federico said in Argentina the university is free for everyone, even immigrants.
See?
That's how it's done.
See, we should all move to blooming Argentina.
Apparently, yes.
Quite right too. And of course, Argentina. They have a style of food that you can sample, like las iguanas.
I knew that was coming.
Did you? Did you spot that one a mile off?
Yeah, but I still loved it.
There you go, Alex.
Oh, a donation from Chris winner was $13.05. Only a small bit of money from one student to another. I'm only part-time, so don't have maintenance loans, so don't worry. Good luck with your studies. Not fair to make students worry about their next meal while they're trying to study. Thank you, Chris. Thank you so much.
Well said, Chris. Good point, well made. That's what I'm going to say. For anybody who's just joined in and they're kind of wondering why we're talking about student loans and stuff, this stream, all donations on this stream are going to Picture Perfect. There's a special donation link in the video description. If you use that, 100% of that donation will go to Picture Perfect. Literally every penny will go to Picture Perfect. You can still donate on Patreon. You can become a channel member. You can donate via Super Chats. And all of that money, or as much money as I get from those systems, will go to Picture. And any tax or anything that's due on those monies, I am going to cover myself. So you can be assured as much of your donations as possible is just going to go direct to Picture Perfect. And the reason that we're doing this is because Picture Perfect is currently being screwed over by the English Student Loans Company, who you don't really want to go into the details of it, do you? No, it's like she's fully entitled to a student loan, and they are just blooming denying it for ridiculous, stupid, bureaucratic reasons. How long has this been going on? For months, hasn't it, Picture?
Yeah, I put in my application in November, and there's just been a lot of back and forth, and I'm getting letters like, you haven't given us this information, and why haven't you done this? And it's like it's a whole thing.
It is a whole thing, and personally, I think it is disgusting that they're putting you through this. I mean, it's stupid and it's insane. I also think it's disgraceful that they would put anybody through this. Christ, it's difficult enough being a student anyway, without putting this kind of pressure on people. It's just ridiculous. You need to read Plop Plop's message.
Plop Plop.
Yes.
Oh,
Plop.
my.
Yeah, Plop Plop 80.
No, it's oh, on the super chat.
Yeah.
Well, sorry, it's my screen did something weird. Picture Perfect, you missed my Steam Labs $10 donation. Sorry. I love your voice and the feminine touch you give to the Sky stream. We all want to secrete dopamine in nucleus accumbens.
I would assume that's accumbens. You should know about this stuff.
But I can't read because I'm dyslexic. But thank you, Plop Plop. I'm sorry I missed it. I am trying, but with internet cutting in and out, and yes, I'm sorry. But
you know,
thank you.
I can't wait till you get your doctorate and you're treating patients, and you've got a patient like lying on the floor, clutching their throat, dying, and you go, "Oh, I'm so sorry about that coffee. I'm dyslexic. I thought it was saccharin, but I actually put strychnine in your coffee." It's going to happen one day. Probably to me, and I don't think it's going to be an accident. To be honest with you. David Rubino says dyslexia is tough. Tell us about your experiences with it, or about it, Picture. It's a very good point. Very good point.
I am lucky in that my dyslexia is fairly mild. I mean, I can't spell. I'm an atrocious speller, and as you guys know, sometimes I mess things up when I read them out loud because I generally see the words in a slightly different order, but it's not as severe as some people suffer with, and it's just always been a part of me. I've just gotten used to it. I know that I can't really read very well or spell very well, but you know, it's just what it is.
Yeah, it is one of those things that like you have to work at, but you can come to terms with. It's a bit like me being an idiot. So it's been tough, but I've worked at it and I've kind of come to terms with it.
Aww.
You've come to terms with me being an idiot, haven't you?
Yeah, we work around it. It's fine.
It's taken you quite a while, but you have come around, like, eventually.
We're fairly used to each other at this point.
Yeah, I suppose.
Kind
Kind of had to.
Oh my god.
Didn't want to, but I had to.
Shush, I'm interrupting you. Hokey Redneck donated $100. That is just...
Wow. Thank you, Hokey.
Thank you so much. That is very, very generous. And they say, hope this helps. And Sky, thanks for not changing the name on my town, Kirkpatrick. I should be able to re-Patreon soon.
Oh, that's great news. No, I was going to say Hokey's one of our regulars and long-time supporters, and he is very, very much appreciated. And that donation, like, thank you so much.
Yes, thank you.
You guys are incredible. Sometimes you run out of like superlatives and stuff. The generosity of people, the warm-heartedness of people, never ceases to humble and amaze me. So there you go. That's all I'm going to say. I'm going to move on because I'm going to cry now. I'm not really. I'm not really going to cry.
So you're far too masculine for that.
No, it's just I'm a hard-hearted, horrible guy, aren't I?
No.
I was almost. You know what I almost said?
What?
Who doesn't want to spend any time with you? I really should have said that because this is a private joke that's been going on.
Yeah, yes it is.
Well, it's out the back. No, come on. These people are helping you out. They want to know what goes on behind the scenes.
You got a new $5 Patreon from Andrew Marzi.
Really?
Yes.
Thank you for that. That will be going to Picture, as I said. All donations, doesn't matter whether it's Patreon, the PayPal link that's in the video description, Super Chat, whatever it is, everything's going to Picture Perfect. To help her out through this stupidly difficult situation that's been created by stupid, I'm sorry, but stupid bureaucracy.
So I interrupted you at the wrong moment there.
Okay.
Just a fantastic suggestion from Quartz Hatch. He super chatted with $7 and 18 cents. Name anything. Frick the tuition system.
Fine. Well, since oil involves fracking, we'll do some fricking.
Oh, that's kind of perfect.
So this is going to be frick the tuition. Can I spell tuition? Tuition system. Oh God. There we go. I think I spelled that right. So that's going to be frick the tuition system number 2. And then this over here is going to be frick the tuition system number 1. There we go. Number 1. Oh, let's try that again. Number 1. Thank you, finally. There we go. Thank you, Corpse. Much appreciated. Yeah, so we were talking while I'm putting this this fuel line together. We were talking about why you got into neuroscience and what you want to do and stuff. And basically, it kind of started off with a shoebox, didn't it? A little bit.
There was a shoebox involved, yeah.
Do you want to tell people? Because people will want to know this stuff. Do you want to tell people about? Go on, tell them about the whole shoebox thing.
I'm going to tell them the reason behind it, and you can tell them the funny story because you're better at that. Is that fair?
I would love to hear you tell them the shoebox story, because the look on your face with that shoebox was just brilliant.
So, my final year of my degree, I had a lot of exams and a lot of facts that I had to learn. So I started making flashcards and like actual physical flashcards, and I needed somewhere to store them, and I didn't have anything, and I didn't want to like spend a lot of money because I'm a student. I don't want to spend a lot of money on a storage system for these flashcards. So I had Sky suggested a shoebox, and I happened to have one, but it wasn't the right size, was it? It was too big.
Yeah, because they're like 3x5 index cards.
Yeah.
And I said, "Have you got a shoebox?" And you said, "What for?" And I was like, "For cards." And you were like, "No, it'd be too..." And I was like, "Just trust me. Trust me." And then what did I tell you to do next when you got the shoebox?
You told me to.
You really don't want to tell this story, do you?
No, because it's so embarrassing.
Go on.
You told me to cut it in half.
To which I was greeted with a look of like, it was kind of a mixture of shock and disgust. Like, what? Cut it in half? What the hell are you You were, weren't you?
Yeah, I mean, I did do it, and then I was just sat there with like both halves of the shoeboxes, like, what the hell? What am I doing with half a shoebox?
Imagine MacGyver, but with a hypoxic brain injury. That's what she looked like at that moment. Looking at the two halves of this shoebox, going, what the hell do I do now? But what was even better than the look on her face at that moment was when I said, put one inside the other. And at first, you still didn't get it, did you?
No, I was like, wait,
she was like,
what?
And I was like, hang on, get one of the cards, right? Put it in as if you like put it in one half, and then put the two halves together and slide them together. And you suddenly went, aha, aha. You suddenly got it.
I know. It was more like, oh.
Oh. And you actually said, oh, it's exactly the right size now.
I did, yeah.
Oh my God. Seriously, it was like Blue Peter for people with hypoxic brain injuries. It was so funny. It was so funny. Oh dear. But anyway, how we got this is how I kind of got involved in this, because you were doing the flashcards and stuff, but you were kind of struggling with just the flashcards.
Yeah.
And I came up with something to make remembering the flashcard stuff a bit easier, didn't I?
You did.
Why don't you tell people about that?
You came up with some very clever mnemonics. Like the first set of flashcards we did was for that exam that I had, wasn't it? For the practical exam. I had to remember a bunch of drug names and effects, and the receptors they have effects on. So there's quite a lot of complicated names because it was for a pharmacology degree. And,
yes, because originally you did an undergraduate bachelor's degree in immunology and pharmacology, right?
Yes.
Because you wanted to be a brain surgeon. We're letting you, seeing as you guys are being so generous and helping Picture out, we're letting you into some of our little like inside jokes and stuff.
Yes.
See, Picture wanted to be a doctor, and yes. One of her favourite TV series
was Grey's Anatomy.
Mhm. So I constantly tease Picture that she saw Grey's Anatomy and she was like, oh, I want to be a brain surgeon.
Mm-hmm.
And I want to marry another brain surgeon with no personality but a great hairdo.
I'm sorry, I
You
don't
hate
care
me
what
now,
you
don't you?
say.
You
but
hate me so
Patrick
much.
Dempsey in Grey's Anatomy is hot. Okay, he just is. But yes, you're in so much trouble.
Indeed. He wasn't looking so hot in. I've recently got Picture to watch the film Outbreak, and if you haven't seen Outbreak, go and watch Outbreak. It's brilliant, and it's obviously very topical at the moment.
Mm-hmm.
Brilliant film, fantastic cast. You're talking Rene Russo, Kevin Spacey, Dustin Hoffman, Cuba Gooding Jr., Donald Sutherland. It's a fantastic cast. Brilliant film. Of course, Patrick Dempsey's in it.
Yeah, he's not looking so hot.
He's not looking so hot in that, is he? No.
No.
Not when he's got like extreme hemorrhagic fever and his like head's exploding. Doesn't look very good at all. Anyway,
No.
His hair still looks good, but the rest of it doesn't. You couldn't seriously, you couldn't kill his hair. You couldn't beat it to death with a stick. Patrick Dempsey's hair. Patrick Dempsey's hair is like a cockroach. It could survive nuclear war. Patrick Dempsey's haircut.
Oh my god.
It certainly could. I'm not kidding. Might glow a bit in the dark, but it'd survive. I'm telling you.
Oh.
Could be at ground zero of a 100 kiloton nuclear detonation. Wouldn't be a hair out of place. Just glow slightly.
You are so mental.
I tell you what, if I ever get advanced warning of a nuclear war, right, I'm going to try and hide in Patrick Dempsey's hair. It's the only place you could be guaranteed to survive. Right. I've been putting some truck stops in here so we can get some trucks going from the frick the tuition system oil wells to the we might as well have to frick the oil system oil refinery, mightn't we? Frick the tuition system. There we go. Done. Right. So let's get this going. Now let's see. And then we've got to go to the fuel refinery. Now. How am I going to do this? Yeah, you know what? Let's just throw in another. Yeah, I'm going to put it opposite or I'm going to put it by the side, I think. Over here. So yeah, we played around with this stuff, Picture and I, about mnemonics and stuff, and revision systems and flashcard systems and all this kind of stuff. And you ended up doing your undergraduate thesis on like revision techniques, and specifically on using flashcards and mnemonics and stuff.
Yes, I did.
And you actually mapped out an application for this as well.
Yeah, I came up with a design for an application for a flashcard system that kind of implements all of the things that make studying easier. So like adding mnemonics and pictures, so not just your straightforward question and answer flashcards. Which
now there are applications out there like today, which do like online flashcard things.
Mm-hmm.
But you kind of took it further in like every direction, because like you did the whole diagrams and mnemonics and color coding and all of those kind of things. But you also did some stuff that you'd been doing manually on your flashcard systems, because one of the big things about learning in general, but specifically revising, is if you can make things goal oriented, it it really helps motivate people to actually do it in the first place, which, to be honest, is one of the most difficult things, because like a lot of the time it can be pretty boring, and trying to make it entertaining or somehow provide motivation. And so you did some statistical stuff, didn't you?
I did, yes.
What? Well, tell them about it then.
So I kind of, well, I don't know how much detail to go into. Like, I kind of came up with a system to like implement the spacing of flashcards. So it's all about how often you revisit information. So it's
well,
all
no,
about
that wasn't the statistics I was on about. Like that's optimizing the memory retention, the periods that you go through. So, like, what are the optimum refreshes to keep it to transfer information from like working memory into long-term memory? No, tell them. I was asking you a question. Tell them what the intervals are. Good lord.
I mean, it varies.
See what I have to work with, guys.
Oh my god. I am trying so hard. Like, I just don't know like how much.
Next week we're going to do another stream where all the donations will go to buy a picture of one-way bus ticket somewhere a long way away.
Oh my god. So yeah, the spacing effect.
Sky giveth and Sky taketh away.
Yeah.
Go on. So go on, spacing.
So the optimal refresh is you want to look at something again within the next 24 hours, and then again within the next 3 days, and like some of the numbers vary, but then like the next 9 days, and then the next 2 weeks, and it's very sort of set intervals, because what you want to do is come back to the information just before you're likely to forget it, and that will increase the chances of it being of it going into your long-term memory. So you're more likely to retain the information. It strengthens the connections between the neurons, so it makes the memory stronger, and it's easier to recall that information. Essentially, if that made any sense.
Yeah.
Cool.
Right, but that wasn't what I was on about. That's about optimizing memory retention with flashcard stuff. But no, the stuff I was talking about, the statistics that you came up with to help from a motivational perspective. Your little stickers, for heaven's sake.
So I kind of came up with this little system where I actually got colored like stickers, and I would put them on my flashcards, and I would get a green sticker if I got the card right, and I would get a yellow amber sticker if I got the card like a little bit right, but I was a little bit off, and then a red sticker if I got the card wrong. And then I would give myself a percentage for every set of cards, and then I would keep track. Like, I got a little bit anal retentive about this.
You totally did. You went a little bit mental.
Because I then created an Excel spreadsheet, and I would keep track of my percentages on the sets of cards I did each day, and I would give myself a weekly percentage score across all my cards, and I was just constantly trying to improve. So for me, the motivation was seeing how much progress I was making. Like, I was constantly doing better on the sets, and I could track that, and I was doing better like every week. Like, I would call you up and I'd be like, oh my god, this week I got over 80% for all my flashcards. And yeah. For me, that like absolutely being able to see like the general progress I was making was so motivating. It made such a difference for me.
Yeah, so when you did your undergraduate thesis and you designed this application, you built in all of that to be generated automatically.
Yes, yeah.
So that, because you had to spend quite a lot of time working out the percentages and recording everything, whereas if doing it in an application, all of that stuff can just be calculated and displayed automatically.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, so, and then, I mean, you and I talked about this a lot, but you really got into this whole, like, how does memory work, and what are the optimum ways, like what's the optimum environment, and what are the optimum methods to go through to get to learn stuff and get it into your memory. And like with the mnemonics, although I don't know, like I can never figure out whether this is the thing that I'm most interested in, or whether you are genuinely interested in it as well. But like, because we've talked a lot about what makes a good mnemonic.
Yeah,
and we've actually talked about, you know, potentially doing a study to actually look using either fMRI or what's the other one that you use commonly?
Probably ECG.
Yeah, probably ECG. To actually look at the brain when you're using techniques that are uninteresting, right, that are dull and boring, and looking at what's going on in the brain when you use a technique that's fun or interesting or in some way stimulating. Because if you think about it, guys, if you've ever come across mnemonics, the best mnemonics are the ones that are funny or perhaps a little bit shocking. So, for example, there are plenty of mnemonics out there which have, shall we say, a sexual theme.
Yes.
Which is either funny or it's a little bit, oh my word, like, but those are the ones that you remember, and we've talked about this, haven't we, Picture, about like what's going on in the brain, like at that moment, and you had a thought about this, didn't you? About what could actually be causing better retention when you're looking at something that's interesting or funny or shocking or outrageous or whatever.
I mean, we kind of came up with this together, but our theory is that it activates the pleasure center in the brain, and the release of dopamine strengthens the connections between the neurons, and it just makes it that memory easier to retain. It strengthens the memory, like there's some kind of connection there.
You know, for a genius, you're rubbish at explaining things sometimes. So, right, to explain, when you're doing something pleasurable, the brain releases dopamine, right? And also, serotonin can also be involved, can't it? And both dopamine and serotonin levels affect memory retention, don't they?
Yes.
So the theory is, or our theory that we've discussed on occasions, is that that you're inherently going to remember stuff better if you're in a stimulating or in somehow pleasant environment or setting or whatever. And if you think about it, right, that totally makes sense. When did you learn best? Like when you had teachers that made stuff interesting. Because either they were interested, or they had a presentation style that was interesting, or they made you laugh about something or whatever. So it would be freaking awesome to do a study on that. I'd love you to do a study on that. But yeah. So anyway, after you've got your masters, you may or may not go on to do a doctorate.
Yes.
We've discussed that.
Yeah.
But you have aspirations towards an educational YouTube channel, don't you? You should tell everybody about that.
I do. So, this was really from a conversation with you. It was really your idea to put this out there, wasn't it? To start this off.
It's your trumpet, not mine.
But I am learning so much information about the best ways to study, and I really want to put that out there and essentially help everyone else, because studying is something that I have always struggled with. So for me, it would be incredibly rewarding to be able to help people achieve the best that they can in their studies, to give people the best possible scientific advice in ways that will help you remember and retain information. So that is something that I really want to get to. It is sort of the aspiration at the moment, isn't it?
Do you want to read that super chat? It segues nicely into me doing a recap of why the hell we're talking about this stuff.
I'm going to say the name wrong though. Can you help me?
It's Norwegian.
Yeah, but you're so good with names.
I mean, it's spelt like that, but it's probably pronounced Henry. I mean, it's Norwegian, for heaven's sake. I don't even know how their tongues get around those syllables in Norwegian. I really don't.
Shall we go with Malka?
You know what? Let's shorten it and let's go with Malka.
Yeah, Malka was 50 Norwegian kroner. Why do I always join the stream too late? And when you're talking about stuff that sounds like adult fun time out of context. Love you lots though.
Well, we've got into the subject of pictures studies. She's doing a master's degree in neuroscience, and the reason that we're talking about that is because on this stream, all donations on this stream are going to Picture Perfect, and I'll explain why in a second. And there's a special donation link in the video description, which goes straight into a PayPal account. 100% of that goes direct to Picture Perfect. You can also donate via Patreon or becoming a channel member or Super Chat, and I will pass on all of the proceeds that I get from that. And also, out of my own pocket, I'm going to cover any tax or anything. So that's all going to be covered. So basically, every penny that you guys donate will go straight to Picture Perfect. Why? Because she has been having issues with the English Student Loan Organisation, who are being very, very stupidly bureaucratic about something that they shouldn't be, and it has put her in financial difficulty, which has been building up over the last few months. And I only found out about this yesterday, and found out that our poor little Picture Perfect has been suffering quite a lot of stress and depression over the last couple of weeks because of what's been going on. And I've done a little bit that I can to help her out, but I thought that I would take this out to the broader audience, because I know there's a lot of you guys out there that love Picture Perfect and would love the opportunity to be able to help her out. So there you go. And then we got on to talking about what she's doing in her neuroscience master's degree and what she did in her undergraduate degree and what she's going to do after and whatever. So yeah, your YouTube channel that you're going to create at some point.
Yes.
What are you going to do?
So the plan is to use all of the information that I've learned about the best ways to improve your memory and retain information, is to make videos to help out fellow students, because I've always struggled with studying with my dyslexia, and I just think it would be so rewarding to be able to do something to help other students, to give advice on the best possible techniques to make studying, not just to make it like actually genuinely easier to learn the information that you need to learn for your exams. And it is possible because I've done it. And I just think the information isn't out there. Like, no one teaches you how to study. You just get told that it's something you have to deal with, and for a lot of people it's extremely difficult. So yeah, I want to be able to help people with studying.
At all levels, don't you?
Yeah, absolutely. It can be applied to any level.
and all kinds of techniques and stuff.
Hmm.
And then you also want to do kind of like subject-based video series, don't you?
Yeah, I was kind of thinking about because I've learned so much specific information in like the fields of pharmacology and immunology and now neuroscience, and I just think it would be beneficial to get some of that information out there because I know that I learn best when I watch videos about topics because for me I find it really helpful to have that visual information. And a lot of these more advanced topics, that kind of stuff isn't really out there. What you're left with is this kind of dry textbook, and that's all you've got. And that's not really the best way to learn information.
What is the best way to learn information? Picture?
One of the best ways is mnemonics, which is something not a lot of people actually know about. Like I feel like that's something they really ought to tell you in school. Like not just you need to know this from a test, but oh, did you know that if you actually use some pictures and some mnemonics, it will be easier for you to remember. Like why does no one tell you that?
Yeah, I mean, the whole flashcard thing is something that relatively few people even know about, let alone actually use.
Mm-hmm.
And flashcards are kind of brilliant. I mean, they really are a staggering way. But we don't get taught how to learn this, which is what they should be teaching you. They should be teaching you
absolutely.
how to learn, and they don't. They just throw a bunch of crap at you and expect you to somehow figure it out yourself, which is kind of ridiculous. But hey, it is what it is, I suppose.
Yeah, but flashcards are massively, massively underrated. They are so good for so many different reasons. But to be testing yourself on information, to be spacing information so that you're constantly triggering that bit of information just before you forget it, to use things like pictures and mnemonics, and it does genuinely make a difference. And I know because I've done it, and it helped me do well in my exams. Like I'm not just saying this because for no reason. It is genuinely helpful, and people just aren't always aware of it, which I find shocking.
Really is shocking.
I'm behind on super chat.
Are you? But you better catch up then.
So Lars.
You know what? I'm gonna help you out because I'm gonna read Jadorian's one because.
Okay.
Jadorian Tompkins, thank you, Jadorian, for your $1.99. It's very much appreciated. And he said, "Love your video, Sky. Glad that I can help Picture." Well, thank you very, very much for helping Picture out.
Oh, thank you.
It's very much appreciated.
Lars with 50 Swedish krona says, just wanted to drop by and say hi. Haven't been to a live stream for a long time. Hope you're all alright. It's been a longer stretch.
Good to have you back, Lars.
Yes, it's good to see you. Welcome back.
Lars Goren.
And I missed a donation that I'm just trying to find. Sorry.
Oops. Don't. What are we up to on the? I can't read it. It's too small on my. What are we up to in the total donations? That's through the special link. We've got. We're up to £124 through Super Chat. What are we at through the donation link? £134 now.
Wow.
What are we up to in the total donations?
$308.81.
Wow.
That is
Okay,
staggering,
guys,
isn't it?
I can tell. Seriously, I can tell you right now that the donations that you guys have made so far make the. I hope I'm not giving too much away, Picture, but that is literally the difference between Picture being able to pay her last tuition installment, which is currently overdue, and not being able to pay it. That is true, isn't it?
Yeah, it is true.
I'm sorry to put you on the spot, but these The guys are helping you out. I think they
No,
deserve
it's
to know.
fair, yeah.
So, guys, you have made like already such a difference to this is not overstating it. You've just made such a difference to Picture Perfect's life, because Picture, you're going to actually be able to sleep well tonight, aren't you?
Yeah.
Which
I
you have
genuinely
not
am.
been doing for the last couple of weeks, have you?
I've not been sleeping particularly well now. I've been rather stressed, to say the least.
Yes, it sucks, frankly, the situation that you've been put in. I mean, she applied for this for her student loan in November. It's now March, and there's like the university that she's at. It's not like they turn around and go, "Oh, hang on a second, what? The loan company is screwing you around." And this is not like just some random loan company. This is the English Student Loans Organisation, the central student loans thing. And you know, it's like the university doesn't go, "Oh well, in that case, you know, it's fine." No. They still want their bloomin' money. Bunch of leeches. That's what they are. Bloody leeches.
Sorry, I'm trying not to cry because it is genuinely moving that you guys have done this. It really, I cannot understate that it really does genuinely make a difference, and I am very, very grateful to every single one of you.
It's a humbling experience, isn't it, being helped?
Yeah, it genuinely is.
Yeah. I like in the early days of my YouTube, when I set up my Patreon and stuff, I was not in a good situation, and literally my Patreon supporters, like,
I know.
Well, I was going to say they saved my life. That might be. It's not taking it too much further than it is, but they certainly, like, changed my life so dramatically.
Mm-hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
I was no longer worried, like, oh my God, am I going to be able to pay my bills? Which I certainly was at that time. And then, like, basically overnight, when I launched my Patreon campaign, the support that I got was just phenomenal. So, yeah. Phenomenal. So, thank you guys from me, but obviously now from Picture. You guys are amazing. Now, guys, while she's been yabbering on about that stuff, which was totally staggeringly fantastically interesting. I actually find it. I love all this neuroscience stuff. I do find it staggeringly interesting. I've set up here. Let's turn my icons on so that you can see what the hell I'm doing. I have now set up truck lines going from the two oil wells, the Frick the Tuition system oil wells, to the Frick the Tuition system oil refinery, and then they get transferred. So at there, the oil gets turned into refined oil, and then the refined oil gets shipped to the. I want to just get rid of this and replace it with universities screw you over fuel refinery. So we go from the Frick the Tuition system to the university screw you over fuel refinery, and now we need to decide how we're going to get it from the university screw you over fuel refinery to Barton and Alextown on the Thomas. Now we've got some options. The obvious one would be to ship it in by boat, by ship, by tanker, either to Kretchy or to Blind Archangeles, and then somehow ship it on the rail network. We could do it by truck, so either by truck or by rail network. We could put in a separate harbour. So, like, guys, this is the time to chip in with your suggestions. I don't really want to use an airport because we're already overloaded. And you need a lot. You need like a large airport, and we don't have any with spare capacity at the moment. So I'd have to put another airport in, and we're already like the airports take up so much space. I mean, the airports are taking up like a significant portion of our landmass now. It's kind of crazy. So I don't want to do it with I don't want to do it with air. I could somehow figure out how to get like a bridge over here or something. Like, I mean, I could put a bridge, like say across here, potentially linking it up to the highway system here, and then actually have a highway that links up to the highway system over here, somehow, some way. Now I could do that, and if you wanted me to do it with a highway system or a rail system, or do we use ships or whatever, like now's the time to have your say. Have your say. Right, you've got some nice super chats to read out.
So Bulldog UK donated £10 and says mnemonics have been used by the military for many years in training. You know what? That doesn't surprise me at all.
Yeah, because let's face it, the military generally with training and stuff are so far ahead of the curve.
Yeah,
and
absolutely.
yet we don't learn from it. Crazy, yeah, it's crazy. It's a very good point, Bulldog. Good point, well made, sir. Well done, that man.
Lars donated another 50 Swedish krona. Says, I'm sorry to hear about your troubles, pictures. Here's a fiver from Frag B, who commented to say that he wasn't able to donate, so Lars donated on his behalf, which was really sweet. Thank you.
Oh, thank you,
That's
Lars.
a really lovely thing to do.
And well, thank both of you.
Yes, and thank you, Frag.
Yes, thank you for the thought, Frag. Much appreciated.
Sarek Vulcan donated 25 euros and says, Sky, would you name a train picture perfect pink play place?
Oh my god, you cheeky little so-and-so. But since you have contributed 25 euros, I suppose we will let you off. Picture perfect pink place. Well, no, there's no S, thank God. Which he probably forgot to put in. Picture perfect pink play place. Yes, we could do that. Outrageous. Name a train. Have you got a favourite place on the map, Picture? Let me get rid of the industry for a second.
I'm quite fond of Corpse Hatch. Am I allowed to say that? Am I allowed to have a favourite?
Wow. As long as it's the place and not the person.
It is the place.
Rubber
yes.
ducky. Okay, so we'll name one of the Corpse Hatch trains. Oh, you know what? This is a little cute train. Oh, that's the Stevenson. No, you can't have that one.
Oh, okay.
You can't have that one. And the other one is called the Brunel. You can't have that one either. That's the Bring Out Your Dead Express. Oh, so we got some great names on the trains these days. Let's have a look up here. So this might be the. Oh no! Now where are you? This is the Corpse Hatch to Kirkpatrick line. You can have this one. Here we go. The picture perfect pink play place. And I suppose because it's pink, I've got to make it pink. God, I hate you guys.
do.
I hate you guys some days. I really do. Making me make blooming trains pink. Oh, look at it. For heaven's sake.
I need some catching up, mister.
Hey,
So-
everybody. Look at picture perfect pink play place. There's a phrase I never thought I'd say on live YouTube. But apparently I just did.
You absolutely did.
And it's all Sarek Vulcan's fault. Yes, I am holding you accountable.
Lars did another super chat for 100 Swedish krona and says, let's put an extra wagon on Sarek Vulcan's picture perfect train to literally make a donation train. Which is a really lovely idea. That's my donation train. That's adorable.
All right, we'll do it. Seriously, we'll do it.
Aww.
Managed vehicle. We're gonna modify. We're gonna go to cargo, and we'll put a gondola. We'll add a gondola on the end. There you go. So this is Picture Perfect's donation train, and as it goes by, people can throw money into the gondola. The back.
Aww.
There you go.
Oi. There was...
Oi, people! Throw some coppers in here. Come on, come on! Don't be me. Throw in your spare change. Come on now. Come on. Chuck it in there.
Were two.
Who threw in the button? Come on. Own up, you little buggers. All right, I want to know who threw that button into the bloody gondola.
Oh God. There were two PayPal donations. One from Michael for $5 and one from Gib Gang. He said only a little bit, but hope it helps. Thank you. Every little bit helps. I'm just speechless by this whole thing. Oh.
I actually knew that they would be awesome.
Mhm.
I just knew that they would be awesome because they always are. I am blessed with one of the best communities on, if not the best community on YouTube. And I know that a lot of YouTubers say that about their communities, but I'm like, wow, you guys are amazing.
You're
definitely, without any question, the nicest. I've looked at other people's YouTubes. Go on, I keep interrupting you.
We do say this in conversation all the time, that you guys are the nicest. It's the nicest community. You get the loveliest comments and so much support.
Mm-hmm. Except from Alex Barton.
Alex is lovely.
Shh, don't tell him.
We
know
sorry.
Don't tell him, for heaven's sake. You just encourage him. We don't need him encouraged anymore, for heaven's sake.
Mega Ultra Dave for £10. Been a while. How's everyone?
Oh, Mega Ultra Dave! Good to see you, Dave. We don't see enough of Dave. Poor Dave has to work and do stuff. He can't always get here.
And Matt with $10 says, good luck with school, student loans suck. Yeah, absolutely. Thank you, Matt.
Yeah, for anybody that wasn't here earlier, we had a really good old rant about like students having to pay tuition fees to go to higher education. It is nonsense. Seriously, write to your congressman, write to your MP and tell him charging students tuition fees is the most retarded idea that any government has ever come up with. You're penalising and putting obstacles in the way of students becoming better educated so that they can get better jobs, which will ultimately totally repay itself in terms of them paying more taxes and whatever, which the government are quite happy to take, right? Our parents and whatever have paid years and years of freaking taxes, right? Education should be free. I'm sorry, but isn't this blatantly obvious to everyone? It's just... And of course, who does it hurt the worst? Disadvantaged people.
Yeah.
So if your parents are already rich,
it doesn't matter.
Then it doesn't matter to you, and you go on, and it's just continues to perpetrate this. You know, the rich get richer. For God's sake, governments, have some freaking sense. What is wrong with them? It's so goddamn obvious, right? Free tuition for everyone. Right? In fact, rich people can pay tuition because they can afford to. Drives me mad.
A super chat from Texas Rick for $5 US. Joined late today, but wanted to help out. Hope everyone is doing well. Thank you, Rick.
Oh, thank you, Rick. That's much appreciated.
And did you
go on?
Did you see Lars became a member?
I did see that Lars became a member.
So welcome to the madness, Lars.
Yes, and you'll get that month's subscription as well.
Oh.
To anybody who has just joined and doesn't really know what the hell's going on, Picture Perfect has been having trouble with the English student loans organisation, who are being bureaucratically very, very obstinate and stupid. And this has been going on for months, and it has put Picture into a bit of a financial... I mean, to be absolutely honest, crisis is not really too strong a word. It's a good job that I found out about this only yesterday. I wish I had known about it sooner, Picture.
I know.
So today's stream, all donations in whatever form go directly to Picture Perfect, and there is a special link in the video description to a PayPal account. 100% of anything that you donate through that link goes direct to Picture Perfect. All the other methods, Patreon, YouTube, Super Chat, or becoming a channel member, or whatever, whatever money isn't taken by those organisations, they all take some amount, will go to Picture Perfect. And to contribute to this as well, I have agreed to cover, or volunteer. I haven't agreed. It wasn't forced on me. I was like, oh yeah, okay, I give in. I'll do it. No, I've volunteered that I will cover all the taxes and whatever that are involved with donations. So literally every penny that you guys donate, or every possible penny that can go to Picture Perfect will. And if you donate through the link in the video description, literally every penny of that will go straight into Picture Perfect's bank account. So there you go. And yeah, so consequently we've been talking about the stupidity of the tuitions, charging students tuitions and loans, the whole student loans things, lumbering people with in some cases hundreds of thousands of pounds worth of debt. It is a stupid and oppressive way to start young people's lives, by loading them up with a crap load of debt. Who thinks this is a good plan? Who thinks this is a good idea? It's nonsense. It is literally insane. Do we hate young people that much that our idea of how to introduce them to the world, as they're just going out into the world, is to saddle them with hundreds of thousands of pounds of debt? It's just insanity. So I've been ranting about that, and then we've been having a bit of fun listening to Picture Perfect tell us about her neuroscience master's degree, which she is studying for. She did an undergraduate degree in immunology and pharmacology, and she's now at a London university studying neuroscience, specialising in memory and learning. Any stuff you want to talk about, like related to that? We've talked about some of that stuff, but is there anything else you want to?
No, I feel like.
What, you feel like you want to cry?
Well, yeah.
And I understand that, but try and hold it together. I know the outpouring of love from all these wonderful people is a little bit overwhelming, but try and hold it together, woman.
It is very, very overwhelming.
It totally is.
But for those of you that have joined now, what I was saying was my intention is to create an education YouTube channel so that I can actually put out videos and put out the information to help students study, to give you like the best possible information, the tips and techniques that will make studying easier, and it will just help So hopefully so many people, because no one ever tells you how to study, and you're often left, wondering what the best way to go about it is. And the information, quite frankly, is not really out there. It's not made clear. So there is an overall goal to all of this. I genuinely want to help fellow students and make the process of studying and preparing for exams as easy as it can be.
You really, this really has this has become a bit of a passion for you, hasn't it?
Yeah, it genuinely has. And like I was saying before, because I'm dyslexic, studying is something that I have always struggled with. And I wish that people had, given me this information sooner, because it does genuinely make a difference. So if I can help even one person with the information that I have gathered, then that would mean so much to me. It genuinely would. So yeah.
And I believe a relatively well-known YouTuber has volunteered to do like free voiceovers for your educational videos. Have they not?
Yes, indeed.
He said, letting everybody know that at least he's got a trumpet.
I happen to know this YouTuber who's fairly famous.
I won't go that far.
Incredibly modest too, like unbelievably modest.
Oh, can I please read out Alex Barton's super chat? And that's your job, but can I read out this one?
Yes.
Alex Barton, £2. Thank you very, very much, Alex, on behalf of Picture, for that donation. He says, I'm back now. What did you say? Oh yeah, I tell you what, Alex, let us stop and recount the last half an hour. We'll just repeat it verbatim. I'll reload the game, undo the stuff that I've done, and show you how I did it again. Is that what you mean? No. Watch it afterwards, Alex, for heaven's sake. What's wrong with you? Go on.
Oh.
Right. By the way, before you do that, what were people saying about like how they want to get this this fuel over to Barton and Alextown on the Thomas?
Oh, that's a very good question.
It is a good question. You're like, I've been so distracted that I haven't been reading the comments.
I am reading the comments, but I'm getting a lot of comments, and I am slacking a little bit in how much I'm reading and replying to, which I very, very much apologise for. So I don't know is the answer. You're gonna hate me so much.
You mean even more?
Yeah. I'm sorry. I'm like the best assistant ever, aren't I? I'm sorry, what did you ask?
Well, we're making fuel, and we need to get it to Barton and to Alextown on the Thomas. And I asked everybody how we should get it there. Should we do it by ship, or should I like put a road bridge across here and link it all up to the highways system and do it by truck, or should we do it by rail, or what? That was
Mega Ultra Dave said take it on foot.
Thank you, Mega Ultra Dave, for that extremely helpful suggestion. You have been so missed. He has been missed. I've missed Dave. I've actually said to you before now, where's Dave? We haven't seen Dave for ages. Anyway, go on. So what have people been saying?
So a couple of suggestions for train, but I'm just going to let some more suggestions. On the nerdy side says swim it across. I'm sorry, I know you wanted serious answers.
I kind of did. Actually, there's a comment from Jacob Pearson. He says, picture perfect. What advice would you give to a 15-year-old coming up to his GCEs, because I struggle revising? And you know what, Jacob? You are in the real majority, because schools do little to nothing to actually teach you how to revise.
Yeah, it is shocking. Like, no one ever tells you how to study or learn. It's just go away, take this in, come back and take a test.
You know what? We're actually going we're going to stop for a minute, because we're actually going to talk about this. I'm going to give you some actual, genuine help. Because, okay, when I first met Picture, how long ago was that Picture? Like 3 years ago?
It's like 4 or 5 now.
Is it?
Yeah, it's been a while.
God, seems a lot longer.
Thanks.
Is it? It's not 5.
No, it's like 4.5.
Is it 4 now?
Yeah.
Jeez.
Yeah.
Okay. So when I first met Picture, you were actually struggling, weren't you?
Yeah, I was.
She was actually struggling with her university degree. And, well, okay. What I used to do in my career, primarily, I was a project manager. And my job was, I would be presented with a problem, whatever that problem may be. Right, and my job was to come up with a plan to solve whatever that problem was. And usually, because I was primarily an IT project manager, it would be implementing some kind of technology solution to solve the problem. But it also revolved around operational systems and just also human procedural systems and all that kind of crap. I'm not going to go into all the ins and outs of it. So I started working with Picture and trying to figure out how we could like get her back on track and whatever. And I mean, do you want to lay out now like what your routine is that you and I have kind of developed over the last, I mean, really 3 years, because for the first year, it didn't really come up. Or do you just want me to do it for you?
Yeah, I kind of do.
Okay, so it's like this. Now, university is a little bit different from studying for your GCSEs. It just in terms of the way teachers like treat you and stuff. Like at university, they actually tell you like what you're going to be studying in advance, which gives you the opportunity to prepare. So Picture's a part-time student at the moment, and you go in for your lectures on a Tuesday, for example. So you prepare for your lectures on a Monday.
Yeah.
So that when going in, you already know something about the subject, right? So the first tip is if you can get advanced knowledge of, and like if you ask your teachers, they will tell. Like if you say like what okay, so what's our next lesson going to be about? They will usually tell you, right? And then you can do a bit of reading up beforehand, so that when you go into a lesson, you've already got a certain appreciation of what they're talking about, and it makes it easier to focus on absorbing it, right? One of the things that I find annoying is how teachers focus on getting you to like copy stuff down and whatever, which is like, that is not a great way to learn. You can copy stuff out of textbooks on your own time, right? What you should be doing is interacting with the teacher, and the teacher should be focusing on making the communication of the information interesting, like focusing on the entertaining and amusing and unusual bits, because that's what helps your memory retention. Anyway, what do you do after you've had your lectures for the day? Picture?
So straight away, because I know if I come home I'll procrastinate. So as soon as my lectures are finished, I will set up and I will start going through my notes and adding in bits to the notes.
And where do you do this? Because this is kind of a crucial thing, and this is going to be a piece of advice to you.
I do this in a special quiet section of the library where you're not really supposed to talk or anything. So for me, it is super, super helpful to be surrounded by people who are just quietly studying. It's a form of motivation, because if I try and procrastinate, it makes me feel bad. I want to be studying because I know that's what everyone else is doing. I mean, it might not work for everyone, but for me, that's definitely a motivational factor.
And this is something I would definitely suggest, so that when you're writing up, and we'll talk about how you write up, like after you've had a lesson or whatever, or a lecture or whatever it may be. First of all, you want to do it straight after while it's fresh in your mind, right?
Yeah.
And you want to find an environment that's conducive to it. Now, when I first suggested, because you used to come home like straight after lectures, didn't you? Because you just couldn't wait to get the hell out of the place and get home, right? Yeah, well, it's kind of natural. But as I pointed out to Picture, the best thing to do is like go to the library, right? Or if you've got some kind of study area at school where you can go, right? You want to get home, right? So procrastinating or like not getting through your work as quickly as possible is actually a downside. It motivates you to want to get through it, right? So that you can go home, and so it kind of makes you get on and do it. And this is one thing that Picture, you used to be guilty of this. You used to drag your work out over hours and hours and hours, when actually you could have done it like in say a couple of hours, and yet you used to like drag it out all day, didn't you?
Yeah, I would do a little bit, and then I would like reward myself and have a little bit of a break and watch something on YouTube, and then I'd do a little bit, and then I'd reward myself to the point where I would literally drag a couple of hours work out into the whole day, and then I would feel really bad and really guilty that I've wasted my time.
So that's like my first recommendation, that you write up whatever you're going to write up. Now, Picture.
Yes.
You used to write up your notes kind of very longhand, pulling in loads of text from the textbooks and whatever, didn't you? And it was pretty useless, wasn't it?
Yeah.
Because it was, when you come to revise, it was way, 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 way too much information.
Yeah, absolutely. And it took me a really long time to put all of that information together.
So what we did was we came up with this kind of two-step process. And the first thing you do is you go through whatever you've been through in your lecture or your lesson, right? And you create bullet points. Just bullet points of important facts, or just something that's particularly relevant or whatever, but just in bullet points, right? Once you've been through it and you've got your bullet point list, then transfer that into flashcards. And this was revolutionary for you, wasn't it, Picture?
Yeah, absolutely.
It really streamlined it streamlined a very, very long-winded process that actually gave you nothing that really you could revise from at the end of the day, right? Into something that was more efficient, really purposeful, and you ended up with a set of flashcards that you could actually properly revise from, right?
Yeah, that was actually genuinely useful. I had the main facts and information that I needed all in one place.
So yeah, my biggest advice, Picture, you can have your, you can chip in after. My biggest advice would be that, like, after you've had a lecture or lessons or whatever, to go through, pick out what you think are the salient bits of information, right? Briefly, in bullet point form, like formulas that you need to know, or like names and dates and places and that kind of stuff that you need to memorize, right? Put them down in bullet points, then sit down, right, and pull them into a set of flashcards. Okay? And then flashcards, you need to come up with a system for reviewing your flashcards. And that is one thing that does take a little bit of discipline. But once you get into it, you'll never look back. And for example, there are online systems that are free, where you can set your flashcards up online so that you can look at them on your phone or on your computer at home or whatever. Or if you want, you can do them on like index cards and stuff. But I would say, if you're doing like GCSEs and whatever, where you have to just learn a lot of facts, flashcards. I cannot sing the praises of flashcards like enough. So, picture, what do you think?
Yeah, absolutely. I cannot reiterate how much of a difference flashcards generally make. And then the other thing that I feel like a lot of students don't really realize, and maybe for GCSE, like you said, this is not the most relevant, but for anyone that's doing further education, like college or a university degree, preparing in advance for your lectures, like, you can't skip on that. It is like the most important thing. You should go into that lecture absolutely knowing what's going to go on in like as much information as you can, and then you use the lecture to check with yourself and make sure that you do generally understand it and ask questions. That is what lecturers are there for. They want to know that you're interested in the subject. Ask them questions, use their knowledge base, and make sure you go away from it generally understanding the material, because there's really no substitute for understanding. I think it's critical.
Tell everybody how much you hated my guts when I suggested that you actually prep for lectures.
I wasn't very amused with the idea.
You really were not amused with me when I said you really should be preparing for your lectures.
Uh-huh.
But it's been kind of a revelation to you, hasn't it?
Yeah, I was not a very good student. I just initially I kind of just turned up to my lectures. I made a few notes. I was like, yeah, that's fine. I'm fairly intelligent. I'll get through, and I did for a little while. But then it gets a bit more complicated, and it's like, this isn't really working for me anymore. Yes, preparation is key for pretty much everything in life, isn't it?
It really is. It really is.
So,
yeah, because the problem is you were sitting in your lectures, and because you hadn't prepped for it, there was a lot of what was being said or whatever, and especially with your dyslexia, because it makes it worse for you.
Yeah.
Because like you, a lot of the time you can't read what's on the screen and stuff, and going through the lecture, you were losing track of what's going on, and then you're just trying to play catch up, right? And you stop being able to focus on understanding, like the real understanding of what's going on, and being able to ask questions. Especially pre-prepared questions where you've looked at something and you've gone, I don't really understand that, but that's something I actually need to ask a question about and have it explained to me.
Yeah, that's something I do now. Actually, when I do when I do my preparation, I will make a note of any questions. So if there's something I don't quite understand or doesn't make sense to me, so then I actually go to my lecture and I have written down ready a couple of questions for things that I need clarifying, and 9 times out of 10 the lecturer will clarify it in the lecture, but on the off chance they don't, I'm like, oh, well, I've got a question I can ask. So yes.
and I mean, for you and maybe for some other people, because you, not so much now, I mean, you still are a little bit, but not so much now. But like 3-4 years ago, you were staggeringly shy.
Yeah.
Right? And the idea of putting your hand up and like asking a question.
Oh my God, yeah.
Was like, no way was that going to happen.
No, absolutely not.
Being able to have a pre-prepared question, like if you're like particularly shy or you don't like sticking your hand up or whatever, if you've got a pre-prepared question, it makes asking that question a whole hell of a lot easier, doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. And you know what? Because I was really shy and I was nervous, I generally didn't want to speak out in front of my class. But the amount of times a lecturer said to me, you know what, that's a good question, let's talk about that. people are so receptive. Lecturers are so genuinely receptive. They want to know that you're paying attention and you're interested in your subject. They are more than happy to take questions. You should not feel like, you know what, that old saying, there is no such thing as a stupid question. And there really isn't. Like, nothing that you can say is going to be embarrassing or awkward. If you need something explaining, ask. And probably there'll be other students who need that explanation as well. They just weren't brave enough to ask the question.
You actually noticed like a real difference in the attitude of your lecturers to you after you started doing that, didn't you?
Yeah, because it makes you stand out when you've got a large class, especially in a lecture. It can be up to 400 people in a lecture hall. It can be, you know, very high numbers. So you're very easily forgettable. And you know what? It does make a difference if the lecturer knows that you're a student who cares about the subject. And it does, it's like, that is never a bad thing to impress your lecturer, to be someone that they actually know. Because then, if you need a reference for something later down the line, you can go to this lecturer and you know that you're going to get a glowing recommendation because they know that you're the kind of person who is dedicated and pays attention and is interested in the subject. So that's a win-win situation.
And that has actually happened to you, hasn't it? In fact, that is essentially the reason why you're doing your master's degree. Because essentially you suddenly started showing an interest and asking good questions and pushing the envelope a little bit. You were actually approached by a lecturer who suggested that you go on to PhD studies. Like, he approached you based on what he saw as the change in attitude, right?
Yeah, he had a conversation with me and he recommended me for a PhD program, something that I had never really honestly considered. And he was telling me about all sorts of options where I could go with studying memory and learning, and it's because of that I ended up where I am. So yeah, there's absolutely no downside to being the person who is interested and engaged.
So there you go. I hope that somewhere in that huge mess there was something useful there for you. But yeah, like like when you're doing GCEs, preparation is actually kind of difficult. But
yeah, it's not the same.
But like writing stuff up in bullet point form afterwards and then translating it into flashcards and then having a disciplined flashcard program.
Yeah. Absolutely.
Where at a predetermined times of day, and the best time to do it is in like dead time. So for example, if I don't know, if you catch the bus to school or something, and picture you used to, because it takes you like about an hour to get to uni, right?
Yeah.
And it was an hour of like, it was like an hour of dead time.
Yeah, absolutely.
And now you can spend that time reviewing your flashcards and that is something that you can actually do. Right? Yeah. Reading a textbook and stuff like that. Well, first of all, reading textbooks, they're so dry and whatever, it's very difficult to get out. And also, it's very difficult to focus with noise and having books it's all very difficult. But flashcards, you found that you could totally do that, didn't you?
Yeah, because I mean that's a great thing. It's especially if you're going to do like an application on your phone or something. Like you've always got your phone on you. So yeah, you've got 5-10 minutes traveling. Then you know you can actually make that really valuable time.
That's the great thing about flashcard sets, that you can just do a set and it might take you 5 minutes or 10 minutes max. And it's just like, I'll do a set. Oh, have I got some more time? I'll do another set. But it's it is the intervals between reviewing them that's kind of the key thing. I don't know whether you want to talk about that for
I will, but I've got a couple of messages I want to catch up on.
Read your super chats out first. And please, guys, please let us know if you're absolutely, completely, totally, and utterly bored by what we're talking about and wish we'd shut up and focus on transport fever. Feel free. Feel free.
Oh, I'm probably bored so many like Transport Fever fans.
I would imagine they were like, I came here to look at bloody trains, and they're talking about flashcards and universities, and the hell is going on?
I know. I feel bad.
And you'd be totally justified in that thought.
So Super Chats, Corpse Hatch, $33 and 33 cents. Name a plane, Spaceball 1, it's gone plaid.
What?
I don't know, I'm guessing it's a movie reference, but I don't get it. Spaceball 1, it's gone plaid.
Yeah, I don't get that.
Sorry,
what does he want named?
A plane.
Oh, plane. Let's pick a plane from. You know what? How about have one of the have one of the Pats Down passenger planes? About time they had some names. I think. Yes, Patstown Honkelbrief. 757, is it? Let's have a look. No, it's an Airbus 320. I should have known that, but I didn't because I'm an idiot. Okay, well, it's what it is. Right, so you are going to be. What does he want it called?
Spaceball 1, it's gone plaid.
Is this something from Spaceballs?
I don't know. I'm not a movie person.
It's gone plaid. I believe there's an exclamation mark on the end.
Probably. I'm sure we'll get berated in Discord for not knowing that.
Probably. I would imagine so.
Simon Lucas was €5. Hey guys, it's been quite a while. Tuition fees suck. Been there, still paying it off. Hope this helps picture. Nice Sunday evening to everyone.
Oh, thank you for that.
Thank you.
Oh, read Corpse Hatch's one.
Oh, I can't. I'm trying to catch up on Super Chat.
Oh, okay.
You read it.
Because I could do this. Corpse Hatch says, I had a donation of $4.12. Thank you very much, Corpse, for all your donations. And he says, name a train, Flashy the Flash card. Yes, we will. And it needs to be a corpse train, doesn't it? Yes, of course it does. Let's have a look. Pretty sure there's another train on the Corpse Hatch to Kirkpatrick line. Yes, train 37. Here we go. This is going to be Flashy the Flash card. Flashy the well, hello. Flash card. There we go. All right, there's much rejoicing. Well, I think Flashy needs to be flashy. So, what colour can we make Flashy to make him stand out a bit? Other than bright pink. Although bright pink does seem to be. No, let's make it yellow. That's got to be pretty flashy.
Yeah.
Flashy the Flash card. There we go. Flashy the Flash card. Woohoo!
Right. Shantanu with $5. Hey Sky, hi Picture Perfect. Been there, done that. Hope this helps you a little bit. Thank you.
Oh, thank you.
And sorry, there's a few super chats and then a few donation messages as well. I'm just trying to catch up because we had a little bit of a lengthy chat, didn't we?
We did. We had quite the lengthy chat, to be fair.
Another donation from Sarek Vulcan for €10. Picture, let Sky name a tram. Sky's small, smelly snob tram.
What? How very dare you? There's nothing small about my smelly snob tram. How very dare you? I'm going to name this one. Tram 47.
That's it, I'm gone.
You lost it now.
Have you? There was a very lovely donation message from. I quite like this username.
I'm so tempted to put in parentheses after small, relatively speaking, but there isn't enough room, so everything's relative. Go on, sorry, I interrupted you.
Stop hammer times table.
Sorry, what?
That's his username. Stop hammer times table.
Oh, okay.
Instead of stop hammer time, I thought that was funny. He donated $56.43.
Wow.
It took me 16 years to pay off my student debt. I know it sucks big time. By the way, I see this not as a donation, but as an investment because we need people like you in the future very, very badly.
Oh, thank you for saying that.
That's really sweet.
That really is. Thank you for that.
And there was a donation from Giga for $1.44. A small donation for a perfect girl.
Oh,
That's sweet.
Brown nose.
I was generally overwhelmed by how lovely everyone is.
Hey. This is why I sprang it on you. Well, first of all, because I didn't want to get it in the ear before the stream, which I would, and I'm gonna get it in the ear after the stream, but you know, I'll live with it. But yes, they're awesome, aren't they?
They are.
Yes, they are.
There was a super chat from Nikita for 100 Russian rubles. Rubles? Is that right?
Rubles.
Rubles.
I'll write. You know, I'll pin a list of currencies up on the side of your box that you live in, so you can review them at your leisure.
Try and make some flashcards.
Oh yeah, I was just going to say the same thing. Let's make you some currency flashcards.
And Nikita said, waiting for Sky to. Does that say sodomize?
Yes, it does say sodomize.
Sodomize poor Lakotcha's train name again. I can't see that either. I'm sorry.
Lastochka.
Lastochka. Yes.
Yes, indeed.
Oh, I think I'm up to date. I apologise if I've missed any of them. I've been a little bit overwhelmed with messages, but
Lastochka.
I think we got that.
That's what he's waiting for. Lastochka.
Yeah, but the thing is, I love that.
Oh yes, I know you do. Oh yes, let's go and visit the Lastochka. Hey, Miguel. Yes, one. What's a tochka? What? Well, it's Las Tochkas. So what's a tochka? Can you get just one? Oh dear, I am absolutely barking, aren't I? Right. So we're going to do a ship route apparently, because I wasn't paying attention to the comments, and I'm pretty sure Picture wasn't. So we're going to do a ship route from over. So we're going to take the fuel, take it up to this port, and then we're going to ship it from there. Because I really like this harbour. That's why I'm doing it from here. I think it's a fairly impressive harbour. So we're going to ship it from this harbour to... where did I put the harbour?
Did you lose it?
I've lost my harbour. I put a harbour in somewhere. And I've completely lost it. Where the... Oh, yeah. I put it over here. In Alextown. God, that's a long way. Tell you what, this is like such a bloomin' bad idea, because trying to figure out the path, that is not going to be a good path. It's going to take a long time to calculate, but hey, it is what it is. If it really slows things down, then I'll do it a different way, but for the purposes of this, we'll give it a try. So what I want to do, I want a new line, which goes from this truck station here to this bloody truck station here. And then we want another new line, which goes from this harbour here to this harbour over here. Hold those bloody Zulus. Some people know what I mean. Hold them. Hold them. You know the Zulu spears. Have you seen the film Zulu?
No.
You know the little spears that the Zulus have. They're like about 2/3 the length of like what a normal long spear would be like. They're only like about 3.5, 4 foot long.
Uh huh.
Do you know what they're called?
No.
They're called assegais.
Oh.
And there's a bit that's actually cut out of the film where Michael Caine, somebody lobs a spear in his direction, and he turns around and he says, "Who threw that bloody spear?" and one of the soldiers turned around and goes, "That's a guy." Oh dear. Apologies to Max Boyce for stealing his joke, but it is a rather good one. Right.
There was. Don't die off.
I'm done.
You can't die off before the stream
It's the coronavirus. It's got me.
Don't you start that.
Oh.
No.
Yes.
No.
You've got to tell them your coronavirus story.
So I think it's probably
little typhoid Mary, you.
I think it's probably nothing. But I read an article online about how the coronavirus has appeared in our town in one of the offices not too far away, and it turns out that that's the office that one of my flatmates works at. And he actually got sent home from work so that they could do a deep clean of the building, and it was one confirmed case of coronavirus, and they were testing a couple of the colleagues to see if it had been spread. So that was a scary 24 hours.
I'm just going to interrupt you because Lars said another 100 Swedish krona. Thank you very much for that, Lars. Much appreciated. And he says, I will go. Night. Thank you all for today, and hopefully I can join the live stream soon again. Picture, take care. I might see you all on Discord later. Lots of love. Hope to see you on Discord. We'll be on Discord immediately after the stream ends at 9 PM UK time, which will be 8 PM on the continent, Lars, and we'll be in there for at least an hour. So we'll be there till like at least 9 PM Central Standard Time, so which is what it is in Sweden.
So thank you for your donation, Lars. Hopefully we'll see you in Discord. If not, have a lovely evening.
Yeah, absolutely.
So yeah, it was a scary 48 hours where I wasn't entirely sure whether or not my entire flat was going to go into self-quarantine.
Yeah.
Yeah, but you know what? Nothing's come of it. So none of us are sick. No one else has been confirmed as having it. So like, it's fine. It's not a big deal. But Drama Queen over here seems to think that I'm trying to kill him.
What did you just call me?
I'm gonna get in so much trouble for that, but it's only fair. You did spring this on me.
Just because I've put you in a 12-month quarantine, I don't think that's an overreaction, frankly.
Yeah, I'm not allowed to breathe near you.
Well, you're not allowed to breathe. Full stop, frankly. I don't think that's an overreaction, do you? So, hold your breath for 12 months and then you'll be fine. We'll all be happy with you then. Right, I'm going to put some of these boats on. I don't know how many I want. I'm thinking probably like, I don't know, like 8. 1, 2, 3, 4.
It's a couple of super chats. So one from Unknown Player for £1. So thank you.
Oh,
and Corpse Hatch again with $2 says, name the harbour in Alextown. I've lost my harbour. Oh, it's kind of appropriate.
By the way, I thought I saw somebody say hi to Alex Thomas, the #1 super chatter.
Yes, hi
is he
Alex.
Here?
He is here, yeah.
Hello, Alex. Good to see you. So, what he wanted this one called? What did he want it called?
I've lost my harbour.
I've lost my harbour. Okay. Oh yeah, because I couldn't find it. Yeah. No, I get it now. Yeah. I've lost my harbour.
There was another super chat from Unknown Player for £2. Says, hi Sky, how can I contact you in private?
Well, if you're on Discord, like if you're on my Discord, so you're either a channel member or you're a Patreon supporter, then you can just send me a private message on Discord. Or if not, then just you can send me an email, and my email is in the About section on my channel homepage. You can find it there. So there you go. Drop me an email or become a member and talk to me on Discord. Right, so we've set that up and I've put the ships on. And what's this? Upper Crytown, Live 5, what's up with you? It says passenger stock cannot be used by cargo vehicles. Well, that's perfectly fine, but this was supposed to be on the cargo side. So I don't know what the hell's gone wrong there. Manage line. So let's get rid of that. Put that back in again. Cargo.
Lars,
there we go. That's worked.
Sorry, Lars is still here because he just super chatted his 20 Swedish krona and says we're +1 an hour ahead, Sky.
Oh, it's yeah. Oh, it's the other way. Yeah, it's so it'll be. So we'll finish at 9 CST and we'll be on Discord till 10. No, sorry. We finish at 10 CST and we'll be on Discord till 11 PM CST. Sorry, my bad. Thank you for correcting me, Lars. It's all gone bloomin' all over the place at the moment because the clocks have gone. Yeah. The clocks have gone forward in the US, but not in the rest of the world, and it's like that until we catch up on what is it, 29th of March? Our clocks.
Is it the 29th as well?
Go forward. 29th, yeah, 29th of March.
So a little way yet.
Yes, little ways. Where's my ships? Here's my ships. Great big bloomin' axe Alps. Now let's see. I've got rate 547, which is a bit much actually. I'm going to crank this up to full speed so that these can like get out of here and get this line going. So now that I've done that, let me tell you what I've done. So we've got the truck lines. Let me bring up the lines so you can actually see. So we've got the truck lines bringing the oil from the 2 oil wells, the Frick the Tuition System oil wells, to the Frick the Tuition System oil refinery, and then we've got another line which takes it the refined oil up here to the University Screw You Over Fuel Refinery, and then from there I need to put some trucks on here, don't I, to take the oil down to the harbour. So let's do that. Have I got a depot anywhere around? I must have a depot around here somewhere. Yeah, I've got a depot here. You'll do. Right, what do I want? I want some Jifang J6P tank trucks. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Let's do 6. Put those onto line 4. And then we'll check out line 4 and see what the rate is. We want a rate of 400. And that's perfect. Oh my god, I'm getting good at this. Alright, cool. So that's that done. Now, let's go and have a little look over here, because each one of these oil wells produces 400. So we need 400 capacity on each of these lines, and we've got 576. You know what? I'm gonna leave that like that. It's fine. A little bit of extra capacity. It's okay. This one is okay. This one's 705. That's too much. So you, I'm going to sell. Okay, what does that get us down to? That gets us down to 560. That'll live with. Okay, and then we've got the line. Was it line 3? Yeah, line 3, which is taking the fuel up to, sorry, the refined oil up to the oil refinery. This only needs to be 400 because we're taking 400 oil, which is 800 crude oil, which gets refined at 2:1 into refined oil. So we still only have 400 coming out of there. So this line, we can just get rid of one of these. Let's just get rid of you.
I'm going to interrupt you again.
Feel free.
So I got a lovely message from Ruben, who donated $3.39. First of all, the best of luck picture, thank you. I'm also worryingly watching my student debt building up, but I was curious about Sky's academic achievements. So there's a question for you.
Yes, well, I have a degree from the School of Hard Knocks. No, they didn't have schools when we used to, you know, hang around at the mouth of the cave, you know, loitering around, you know, molesting dinosaurs and stuff. That's what I used to do. And no, I was very much like self-taught. So yeah, I ended up doing like the equivalent of kind of an apprenticeship to learn my stuff rather than going the academic route. I was very practical rather than academically minded. I found academia very stodgy and boring. I wanted to do like practical things, which I found a lot more engaging. And yeah, so.
I feel like you're underselling yourself a little bit because you actually had a very successful career with what you were doing.
Yeah, I kind of did.
You were very good at what you did.
Thank you very much. Yeah, I kind of.
Mhm.
I had I suppose, a bit of a penchant for technology and specifically for project management and problem solving.
Mhm.
And that was kind of my thing. It's like, give me a set of circumstances and let me come up with a plan for how to make it better, and that's kind of what what people seem to think I excelled at. I won't say that I excelled at, because that would be like an absolute statement of truth. Who knows? People could have just been completely hoodwinked by my outstanding charm and sophistication. Yes, I am bloody sophisticated, and don't you say any different. So yeah. And I mean, I suppose I suppose it depends how you rate success and stuff, but it did allow me to kind of like travel the world, and I lived in Switzerland, and I lived in Manhattan in New York, and went to Asia, Hong Kong and Tokyo and places like that and stuff. So yeah, I had a very interesting time. Let's put it like that.
See, you were trying to sell yourself short there, and I had to step in.
Well, apparently I'm a small, smelly snob. So you need to read Corpse's latest comment.
I know. Corpse had $2.69. Name anything dinosaur molester.
Okay. How about this flock of the dinosaur molesters down here? You'll do.
Oh.
Dinosaur molester. There we go. On the dinosaur molester line. By the way, did you see this? Because I hadn't seen this before, and I noticed it when I was doing those tankers. Look at this! Look at this! The Diamond Ferry. Oh, we've got to put some of them in. Have I got any passenger lines though? What's the capacity? It's like 100 capacity though. Jeez. We've got to figure out how to get one of those in the game though. That's blooming awesome. Alrighty, so we've got these ships, like, going back to what's the rate on that? Line 5. 547. Fine. We need 400, so 547 is fine. What I'm now going to do is you, I'm gonna turn around. And you, I'm gonna turn around. And you, I'm gonna turn around. And you, I'm gonna turn around. So I'm turning around every other one. So now we should get some like half decent spacing between all of those ships, which would be nice. Ish. Maybe. Right. Having done that, are you actually getting any fuel? Oh my lord, we're producing fuel! Oh my, I haven't completely cocked it up. And there was much rejoicing. Let's go have a look. So, the oil is coming from the 2 oil refineries to the fractionation system oil refinery, and that is starting to crank out the stuff. That's awesome. Hang on, that's only producing. Oh yeah, it needs to go up all the levels. That'll eventually produce 400, and then that 400 refined oil will be converted 1-to-1 into fuel. So that needs to go up all the levels, and yeah, then that gets a ship. So now the oil, or sorry, the fuel is going to be brought over to this harbour over here. I've lost my harbour, and then it needs to get shipped into Alextown. Now there is over here. Here we go, Alex Fuel. But instead of going from there, it needs to come from over here. So if we manage the line, now let's see, which is what I need to do is turn on my icons so that I can see. So we don't want the Alextown on the Thomas branch. We don't want to go from there. We want to add the station and go from there. Now, if we turn on the RCI layer, right, so we want to be delivering to industry with fuel, and that's the truck stop, and as you can see, it covers virtually all of it, not quite all of it. There's a few down here we're not going to reach, but what I could do, I could probably knock those down and get those to rebuild like over here or something, so they would be in reach, but I'm not going to faff around with that right now. So that means we are now getting the stuff into Alextown on the Thomas. Hello, it's Wayne rejoicing. Hey! Right. So now, let's see, Alextown on the Thomas wants 262. So if we go to the bloody refinery, which is over here, it should tell us consumers, Alextown on the Thomas. And it tells you how much we're currently shipping over there. Now, we are currently shipping some, apparently, to Crytown. Because if we look over here at Crytown, so the harbour, well, actually this, you can see that this is covering all round here. So, if we look at the RCI, yeah, that is a little bit of a problem, and I think we're going to have to change that because I don't want this fuel going to Crytown. It's a shame because I wanted to find a use for that harbour, but we're going to have to do it another way.
What was that?
That's my grumpy teenager voice. Have you not heard that before?
That was so perfect.
We're going to have to do it another way.
Oh, you never fail to amuse me.
You need to clean your room. Oh, good, I'm alright, I'll go and clean your room. I've really got to. I'll go and clean it. One thing after another. Oh, dear me. We did have a laugh. Right. Let's put a bit of deep water dock in here. We'll have our harbour here instead. So I might even try and get rid of this truck line. I don't know whether I can reach it. We'll see. We'll see. We'll see. Will we see? Yes, we'll see. Right, so what do I want? I want ship, harbour, cargo harbour. Flip you around the other way, you lemon. Oh, I didn't upload the lemon icon.
Oh.
Everybody could have done the lemons then. They were. Right. Pop that in there. We'll have a bit of flattening going on. Let's crank that down a bit. Have a bit of flattening going on there. So I put in a bit of flat road, which would be nice. Let's have a bit of the old flat road going on. Right, across there. That kind of thing. And then, using the straight road tool, I'm going to put in a road that goes like up there. And then from here it goes up there like that. And then from there it goes up there like that. And then probably goes across the back like that. And then from here it goes straight across there like that. Oh my god, I love this straight road tool. It's brilliant. I never had a straight road tool when I was doing it. I had to manage the bloody tool that they had. Didn't have a straight road tool in my day.
Oh my god.
My dad wouldn't buy me a straight road tool. I had to borrow my friends. Right, what was I doing?
I need to interrupt you. There's a super chat from Sarek Vulcan, €5. A €5 for the picture perfect poster girl of students. Looking forward to your channel. Also, give this guy that he remembers what he's doing. So I'm going to help you remember everything that you're doing, apparently. So no more bonehead moments.
Guys, I really wouldn't go that far. Right, what we're going to do, we're going to manage these vehicles, we're going to sell them. We're going to say, oi, you lot, chuck your filthy stuff out in the street. Bye-bye. Hooray. And they were all gone. They were all sold. And nobody cared about them anymore. And the princess didn't come to visit them anymore. And they all died of starvation. Have you got the faintest idea what I'm on about? Because
no.
I haven't. I've completely lost the plot.
No,
hey, you know what? Have I got rid of the trucks off the wrong line?
You haven't, have you?
I could easily. No, I haven't. Right, so this line I need to get rid of. So manage line and line 4, delete line. Right, that's got rid of that. Now, what should happen if I change line 5, so instead of going to there, manage line, instead of going to Upper Crytown, we go to this harbour here, Crytown, which is apparently called Crytown Bus Tram Station number 1, even though it's a harbour. Who threw that bloody spear? I've still got a go round in my head. That did make me giggle. This is going to be... I don't know. I'm just like for now. I'm just going to call it Oil Harbour until somebody comes up with a clever name. Oil Harbour. Bum. All right. Cool. Good. So now that we've got that, pause just for a second. Configure it. Get rid. I'm going to get rid of this little dock. And I'm going to put in a big dock. Rawr. There we go. What?
Yeah, you're just adorable.
Well, that's what you think. Nobody else thinks that. Everybody else thinks I'm God, horrible.
Yeah,
Awful.
but I'm pretty special as well, so it's fine.
Well, there is that. She was using special in a short bus kind of way. Right, so that's all done. So yeah, crank it up because we should be rocking and rolling. Now we won't need quite as many ships, or we should need quite as many ships. Yeah, we've got like twice as many as we need. So we've obviously got to keep the dinosaur molester. You, I think, can be got rid of. Yeah, you can be got rid of. Goodbye. And you can be got rid of, you. And goodbye. Alright. Now, why aren't you moving? We've got the line set up. You're on the line. Why aren't you moving? The hell's wrong with you? Let's try it. If I flip you around and then flip you around again. Oh, it's moving now. Why are you going that way? Come this way. Yeah, come down here. Right, let's have a look. Yeah, these have all got like completely confused by the look of it. Flip you around again. Okay, now you're moving. I've got to do that with all these blooming ships. Dinosaur molester. There we go. And you flip. Why have I got to flip all these ships around manually? What the hell's going on? You, what the hell are you doing? Why are you even over here in the first place? I got lost. I was going to run aground. Thank you for saving me. Blooming lunatic. Go that way. This captain's what? Is he drunk? He's like, we're sailing along. Oh no! Oh no! There's a cliff! Quick, change direction, men! Arr! Sail over there! Arr! 15 men on a dead man's chest. It's 2042. Why am I talking like this? I'm the captain of an oil tanker.
Oh.
21st century oil tankers don't talk like this. Actually, 21st century oil tankers don't talk. Captains of 21st century oil tankers don't talk like this. Ha! But it's a very long journey. We need to entertain ourselves. So we pretend we're pirates. Unless there's anybody looking. Then we talk like this. Hello, my name's James. Yes, I'm the captain. We're very sensible. Don't worry. Your oil, your 1,000,000 gallons of oil is in very safe hands. Ha! He's gone. Right, now we can be pretend to be pirates again. Ha! Pass me my sword. Alrighty, so the lunacy continues. Right. He's coming over here. He's going to grab his oil or his fuel, and then he's going to ship it over there. So now we've stopped sending the oil to Crytown, which is a good thing. So fuel. Stop sending the fuel to Crytown. So now the fuel just goes directly over here. It's going to Alextown. We also need to get it to Barton. Now, the question is, do I just take the easy option and just put a truck route into Barton? And I think the answer is yes, because it's an opportunity for us to use our fancy highway system. And it'll make me fix this because I need to put on an extra couple of, I need an extra on and off ramp here. So that's what we're going to do. That's what we're going to do, boys and girls. What the hell's going on here? What the hell's wrong with all of you? What are you all coming over here for? Oi, dinosaur molester. Go the other way. Yeah, go off over there. They'll space themselves out eventually. Right, let's do it then. So, where are we going to go in Barton to drop off fuel? Now, we were dropping off fuel here at one point, but apparently I must have got rid of the truck stop. Well, we haven't actually got a truck stop over there, haven't we? But that's not for oil, I don't think. That's not what we want to drop the fuel off. No, we want to drop the fuel off over here. Hooray. Right, so where are we going to put a truck stop in? We're going to put a truck stop in somewhere. Buildings is what I want. 11. I don't know, probably somewhere there would do, wouldn't it? Cover most of the town. Yeah. Boom. In it goes. Right. So we've got a truck station to go to. What we need to do now is grab new line, and go from here, from the harbour, or the truck station by the harbour, to this truck station here in the industrial heart of Barton. Hooray. Now, what we need to do is take a look at this line and see, is it doing all the right things? Well, it's doing everything right at this junction. That's perfect. It's going up and down the highway here. That's perfect. Comes down here. Aha! This is the problem, right? Because whilst it's fine going that way, right? If you're coming down the highway this way, right? There's no way, or rather, coming up here, I suppose. Actually, no, coming up here is fine. But there's no on-ramp to get onto the highway going that way. You have to go all the way down around that island and then come back this way, which is kind of silly. So, we're going to try and remedy that, boys and girls. What do I want? I want highways. I want a 2-lane off-ramp, or on-ramp, depending on kind of which way it's going, I suppose. Could be either. And then I want this to hook up kind of like that. But, unfortunately, we're not getting across here, which is not good. So, what I'm going to have to do is do something like... You know, I'm really tempted to use a 1-lane. Now, if I use a 1-lane and like take it like... So what I want... Okay. Oh. No! Oh, guys, this was the problem that I had. Where the game hangs when you're trying to hook up a highway with an off-ramp. Oh my god! No, that's it. It's dead.
No.
It's dead. Transport Faber has died.
Aww.
What? You know what? It's lucky. It's lucky that it's like 4 minutes to the end of the stream anyway.
Yes.
So I guess I'm going to take this opportunity to say, like, for anybody who's joined in like the last, I don't know, 20, 30 minutes and doesn't know what the hell's been going on, this stream is all donations made on this stream are going to Picture Perfect, and the reason is because of some bureaucratic garbage with the English Student Loans organisation. Our poor little Picture Perfect has been left in rather dire financial straits until it gets sorted out. And this has been going on since November. And she has been losing sleep over this. So I have decided that all donations from this stream will go to Picture Perfect. There is a special link in the video description. If you want to make a donation, if you use that link, then literally every penny will go to Picture Perfect. But you can also donate through Patreon or become a channel member or Super Chats, and that money will go to Picture Perfect as well. So there you go. Yeah, and it's something that I only found out about yesterday. And I didn't tell Picture Perfect what I was going to do before starting this stream, so I'm sure that she's cringing right now and is very embarrassed and whatever. But it's one of those things that is totally not her fault, and yet she is suffering for it. So I thought you guys might want to do something about it. And if you're watching this stream like on demand after, you can still use that link in the video description. And I'll keep that link going for like at least the next week or so. So if you feel like donating to Picture, you can do that. And if you've got like 4 minutes, well, no, in fact you've got like 2 minutes. If you want to get your donation up on the screen and have a personal thank you from Picture Perfect, then you've only got a couple of minutes to do it. So Picture, I think you've got some work to do.
My internet cut out, so I didn't see any messages. It cut out twice.
Oh, man.
I know, I'm sorry.
So you can't see Corpse Hatch's message? Your super chat. You can see.
No, the last super chat I can see was from Sarah Vulcan.
Ah, okay. Well, you've had a $50 donation from Corpse Hatch.
Thank you, Corpse.
Saying one last one for Picture Perfect before the stream ends. Isn't he lovely?
Oh, he really is. Thank you.
And before that, it was Sarek Vulcan. Was that €5? It's €5.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
€5 for Picture Perfect Poster Girl of Students. Looking forward to your channel. Also, good for Sky, so you might remember what he was doing. You already read that one out, but I thought we'd read it out again.
It was cute, yeah.
It was very cute, and I thought it deserved being read out again. So, what's our total? I can tell you guys that you guys have donated in super chats £297. Oh my good lord! Okay, well that changes things a little bit. Vincent Shanks, good heavens! You can read that out. The
oh
amount.
My goodness! Vincent Shanks was 333 Canadian dollars and 33 cents.
Wow!
Wow! Thank you so much.
Thank you very, very much, Vincent. And I mean, to say that makes a difference, and I mean this to everybody that's donated, to say this makes a difference, oh my God, you are going to sleep so much better tonight, aren't you?
I genuinely am. I feel like I should read that amount again just for everyone's entertainment. Really 333 Canadian dollars and 33 cents.
Brilliant.
Vincent says, picture perfect, get some rest.
Thank you so much, guys. Thank you for stepping up and helping out somebody who genuinely deserves to be helped.
I'm having a bit of a moment.
Are you?
Yeah.
You're getting all emotional. Do you want me to read out Nigel Newsom for you?
Yeah, please.
Nigel Newsom with 50 Canadian dollars. Wow, thank you, Nigel. Thank you so much.
Thank you,
and
Nigel.
He says, here's to picture perfect. Well, he says, here's to picture.
I am genuinely overwhelmed because I obviously Sky surprised me and I didn't know this was happening. And yes, it's a little bit cringy having to admit that you're having any kind of like difficulties or problems, but you guys are just unbelievable. Like genuinely, this is something I have been so stressed and worried about, and this genuinely makes such a difference because this has constantly been on my mind and I've been really, really worried sick by it. So the fact that you guys care enough to do this, to put forward donations, like however small, whatever amount, is just like unbelievably moving, and I am so grateful. It really does make a difference.
Nah, it's a very, very humbling experience. But you know what? I want to just throw this out there again. For anybody, for any of you who ever has any financial, like real financial difficulty, I've been through it. Picture's going through it right now. It's terrifying, isn't it, Picture?
Yeah, it is. It's absolutely terrifying.
When you don't have enough money to pay the next bill that's going to come in, it is terrifying. And it leads to depression. It can lead to suicidal thoughts, which it certainly did with me when I was in my real crisis. And I just want to say to anybody that goes through that now, in the future, reach out to people. Don't, I know it's the hardest thing in the world to talk about, but genuinely, honestly, guys, reach out to someone, right? Tell somebody about it. There is always a solution. Even though you don't see a solution, there will always be a solution. I promise you. Just reach out and talk to people.
Yeah, I can't stress that enough, that actually just having the conversation last night with Sky, which I knew I was going to have to tell him because I've been worrying about it for so long, and I didn't want to because it's not something you want to talk about. It's very awkward. But Finding
It is.
someone...
It's staggeringly awkward. It's embarrassing.
Yeah, it's embarrassing.
You feel like a failure, and you even if it's not necessarily your fault, you think it's your fault.
Yeah.
You know, you should be responsible enough to do it, or to deal with it, or whatever, or you need to deal with it on your own. For God's sake, if anybody's in that situation, or to be honest, if anybody's like, if you suffer with depression or whatever, like whatever problem you've got, reach out to someone, a friend, a relative, or even a total goddamn stranger. You know, there's loads of helplines, and like, talk to someone. Seriously, I can't stress it enough.
Yeah.
A problem shared is a problem halved. It really, really is. Every single time. It's never a bad thing to talk to someone.
Yeah, absolutely. Please do talk to someone, because just having the conversation last night with Sky was such a weight off my shoulders. I was so genuinely relieved. Like, all of this loveliness aside, just being able to actually talk through it and know that you're not alone. Because there is someone out there who cares. Like, there will be someone that wants to listen. Don't go through anything like this alone. Talk to someone. It will make you feel better. I know it's awkward and it's uncomfortable, but just talk to someone. Anyone.
Rude Van Zanten said she has enough money to buy a big box of tissues tomorrow. Well, actually, and this is true. Picture will back me up. I actually bought you a box of tissues today, didn't I?
Yeah, you did.
I literally bought her a box of tissues today. And Nigel Newsom says, take her out for Mexican. What? You mean at Las Iguanas? One thing I can tell you, Nigel, is that no, we won't be going to Las Iguanas anytime soon, because like if we were going to go out to Las Iguanas and spend, I don't know, like 50 quid on a meal, I would rather give Picture Perfect the 50 quid and tell her to put it in the bank, and that's what's going to be happening for, well, until this loan situation gets sorted out. It's basically the thing. Isn't it, Picture? We talked about this last night.
We did have this conversation. Yeah.
We are going to get you financially sorted out. You are not going to be worrying about this anymore. So there you go, guys. Thank you so much for all your generosity tonight. I look forward to seeing all of the channel members and the Patreon supporters in Discord immediately after this. I'll be in there in like relatively few minutes with Picture, and no doubt we'll be talking about this and tuition fees and I don't know, and plastic granite and pirates and all kinds of stuff. And probably usually something that we never expected to be talking about. Like,
yes.
God, the things that we talk about. Oh, good Lord, Corpse.
Oh, Corpse, thank you.
You are something special, Corpse. Corpse, with another $25, and he says a bit more. You're unbelievable, Corpse. Thank you very much. Guys, we are going to leave it there because the game's broken. So what I'm going to have to do is go back to... oh, no! It started working again. Oh, my Lord!
Oh my God.
Guys, it started working. The gods have smiled on us. It's come back to life. Hooray! And there was much rejoicing. Right, am I going to put that on-ramp in? No, I'm bloody not. I'm just going to leave the damn thing alone. At least for now. Maybe after I've done a save, I might try and put it in offline and see if I can get it to work. But there you go. So we've got fuel going to Alexander and Thomas. We've got fuel going to Barton. You've all learned about like neuroscience and memory, and you've learned a hell of a lot about flashcards. Probably a lot more than you wanted to learn about flashcards, frankly, in your entire life. But I don't know. Maybe it's helped someone. And I really hope that if like anybody's got any problems of any description, talk to somebody, a friend, a relative, whatever. Seriously, if there's one thing that we go away from this stream with, like, seriously, if you have a problem, talk to somebody. Guys, thank you very much. Picture, I'm going to leave the last words with you. So you can sign off and you can say the peace out, and then we'll end the stream. So from me, see you, see all the members in Discord, and I will see you all with the new videos very soon. Picture, over to you.
I just want to say thank you again. You guys are utterly amazing. Like, you are always lovely. We always have such fun in chat. But thank you so much for your generosity. It is honestly humbling, and this has been an amazing surprise. So thank you very much to Sky too, because this wouldn't have been possible without him. He's been amazingly supportive. But thank you all so much, and if we don't see you in Discord, I hope you have a lovely rest of the weekend, and we'll see you again to the stream next time.
Yeah,
Peace out.
just very quickly for anybody that wanted to know, we did £535 in chat revenue, super chat revenue, of which I can't work it out, but Picture will get every penny that I get from YouTube will go to Picture, and on the donation, the straightforward donations using the special link in the video description, we did $394.
Wow.
Wow, you guys have that is massive. That is massive. That is more than half of your final tuition demand, isn't it? That you're trying to solve now. Guys, that's huge. That is huge. Thank you to every single one of you. We'll see you very soon. Be safe. Love each other. Peace out.